And with that, we can welcome you officially to Friday Night Racing here at the Velodrome. It's the 2023 Vision Grand Prix, officially session 2, but it feels like the first real session. We've got the crowd here. The fans have shown up. We've got a great show for you tonight, and we're so happy you could be here to join us. Before racing gets underway, I do have a special extra edition I want to put out there, and I think many in the cycling community will understand what I'm talking about here when I read a message that was sent out in the welcome email to the athletes, but I don't think our fans may have heard this yet. From our board president, this was emailed to the athletes here in response to some recent announcements from the UCI. Welcome all of you. At the Jerry Baker Memorial Velodrome, we believe that participation in and support of the sport of cycling should be open to everyone, which is why I'm overjoyed to have each and every one of you racing at our premier event of the year. We are committed to maintaining a safe, open, and welcoming space for all people and expect our whole community to share in these ideals. I just want to add on top of that the news that hit us just recently touches really close to home for me and my family, and we are so glad, no matter who you are, whatever your background is, whoever you choose to love, we are so glad that you can be a part of the sport here at Jerry Baker Velodrome. We hope you can put your hands together and support all of our athletes making it out here today. Fans, show some love and support for the message here. Sport is for everybody, and we're so glad you could be with us. Our first event today, we've got the Open Women Keirin semifinal round. Those athletes need to make their way over. We're going to be starting with that here momentarily. We got some great racing in store for you today. Before the Kiddie Kilo starts, we're going to get to see the semifinal rounds of the Gregg's Elite Open Women Keirin event here, followed by the Broadmark Masters Cat 3 Sprints and Elite Men Sprints final ride number 1. I get to talk a lot about those riders when they come up here in a little bit. Looks like we're getting the e-bike set to go. Program Director Amar has got the honors of leading the groups around today. Our groups are getting set to start here on the home straight shortly. We'll get them lined up and ready to go. For the go around the track, we'll talk a little bit of the Keirin when it comes up. This is the 2023 Vision Grand Prix, our premier event of the year. And we are so excited to get this thing underway. $10,000 cash purse in total for our riders is up for grabs. We've got great merchandise coming from our main title sponsor, Vision. We'll talk a little bit more about them throughout the program. You can see their wonderful logo here at the finish line if you're here at the track, and of course their tents out behind us, as they've been a big support for the Grand Prix for a number of years. And here now comes this first heat getting lined up to start in the Keirin. And the pace around the way here for the first ride in the Keirin. Riders are set to start, and they'll get the sound of the gun as the signal to begin. So quick warning here, we will get a nice bang here to start the race. Pacer coming through turn 4 onto the home straight. Riders ready. Off and away we go. The first race now on the track for the Open Women Keirin. A 4-lap competition. The riders in this group are looking to advance further on towards the finals and race for the top spot in the Keirin here this weekend. Part of the sprint omnium for our champions here. They need to finish well in this event to be able to continue on their campaign in that event. They're going to go on 4 times behind the pacer, and you can tell this first lap a little bit slower. It's meant to be a gradual acceleration behind the pace of the lead bike, who brings them up to speed. After 2.5 laps, will pull out of the way, and then the riders will go at it for a lap and a half at the end at top speed. The Keirin, known as a sprinter event, short distance overall, top speed a big factor. This one a good one for riders that are not going to get on top of the gears super fast. They're just going to power that bike to the finish line. Really favors that kind of powerful end effort. And we're going to see how these riders can manage to compete here in a bit. Seeing 2 to go, the pacer about to pull out of the way. Our penny farthing competitor at the very back end, a competitor all the way out here from Australia, always a favorite in these fast events. She's at the very back end of this field. We'll see how she plays this one out, as she's looking to be at the front to make her way into the next round. Bell's ringing, 1 to go, 1 to go. Heather Nielsen, number 103, pulls up and out of the saddle a little bit to start accelerating the field. They're all bunched up right around her. A little bit of a hesitation now. The lead rider is kind of sitting on things a little bit here. The back end of the field looking to pick up the pace from the back end. And there you go, your Australian pulling away, no problem here. And it looks like the next across the line, 113 and 101. Here comes up your second group. 3 more riders to advance to the final round and join the speedster Lizanne to see who will be able to make it in. We'll have to watch the second heat of the 2. Following this, the first ride for the Broadmark Masters Cat 3 sprints, followed by the Broadmark Elite Men sprints right around the corner. And the pacer getting the signal. And Amara's on her way. With Scoville, Chen, and Fox, the 3 riders in the last group to advance. Our second heat set to start here soon. Pacer in turn 4. Exiting on the home straight. Riders, ready. And off we go for our second heat in the Keirin. The first of the bike will be Jessica Law, number 112. As they draw for their order before the event begins, they'll all slot in behind Jessica. 3 more to advance into the final round for 1st through 6th. Just have to be in the first half of this qualifying round to continue on. Line up behind Law is Jenna Lingwood, one of our Portland area competitors, riding in the colors of Team Mama Bear. Also in the group, we have Lucy Dorr for the Jerry Baker Juniors. Annette Williams is out there in the blue with the white helmet. She's 5th wheel. Right in front of her, another local product, Kelly Darlene in the blue for Rice University. And then at the back, Victoria Park making splashes here for the last couple weeks, really showing great improvement. Makes it up into this Keirin tonight, number 118. Seeing 3 to go. The front half of this field, very strong, but there's some local talent in the back half too that I think has a great chance to make it into this final tonight. Lingwood in a really good position near the front and has a lead out rider depending on how the next lap goes, but also look out for Annette Williams all the way at the back to try to work her way up into this thing. You know, she's going to want to find a place in this final. Seeing 2 to go now. Pacer will exit on the back straight, and then it's going to be Jessica Law versus the rest of these 5 strong riders behind her. And the race really now fully underway, but Law will pull up quickly. It's now Lingwood finding herself in lone control at the front. A lot of movement around the group now as they watch and wait and see who's going to make the first move. It's 1 to go. Top 3 advance to the next round. Williams is making a good run at it now. Victoria Park starting to move up a bit. She's up above the blue line. Who else is going to come out to join Lingwood and Williams? Looks like maybe Dora might be able to move her way up there. One of the Jerry Baker Juniors down the back straight is just Lingwood and Williams rolling with this thing right now. Who's going to be third across the line? A bit of a sprint from the bunch. It looks like Kelly Donleen trying to make a push for it. Dora from the sprinters lane, though, has really good positioning. Lingwood and Williams in control for the position, and Donleen makes a good run at it down the home straight, number 109. Your third rider across the line should find the invite into the final round for 1st through 6th place. Broadmark Masters Cat 3 Sprints. Ride number 1. The ride for 3rd and 4th place coming up first. If you weren't privy to the action earlier today, we had riders go through 200-meter qualifiers and several rounds of qualifying competition to make it here tonight to be in front of the audience for Friday night. I like this heat because I was surprised to see how this one played out for both of these riders. This has been fun to watch. Christian Miller qualifying with one of the slower times, but has been so powerful in the event. He kept surpassing expectations and really upsetting a couple of riders coming into this. I know his strength, but I was still surprised by the result, and it's been fun to watch. And now he comes up against a rider who's been playing it really strong here today. Thomas Andrew, number 69, in a great head-to-head match in their first ride for 3rd and 4th in the group. And now we go for this first ride in this match sprint. The match sprint is a 2-lap race, and this is going to be a best-of-3 series, so no rider will win right now. It's going to be the opportunity to see who starts with the dominant start here today. The winner in the overall series picks up 3rd in today's Cat 3 Masters Sprint Tournament. It's Miller that's picked up the pace pretty quick right from the gun here. He's picked it up all the way now into turn 3. It's been pretty fast in this first lap. You might think, well, that's what they do. It's racing. Not usually in a match sprint. It's usually pretty slow on the first lap. So looking to keep it pretty quick early on. And a change of the lead position now as Andrew takes the front spot. Number 69 now in the lead. Miller onto the back wheel. He's got good position. If he can hold on to this thing, he might be able to make the overtake out of turn 4. Continuing to hold on. Now a bit of a run at it. He's going to get out of the saddle down the back straight. Come along side by side. Great power from Miller. He's just going to come around the outside and close this thing down. It almost looks like no competition on this first one. Miller opening things up nicely on the back straight, just jumps over the competition. We'll see them again later on tonight. If you haven't had a chance yet to sign up for the Kiddie Kilo, it might be too late. It's just about ready to start. Kiddie Kilo riders, get your bikes. Make sure your number's on, have your helmet, and head on over near where you signed up. We're going to get you set to start here shortly. All the kids come on over. And now the ride for 1st and 2nd place in the group. It's our top 2 riders coming out of the Masters Cat 3. It's Jacob Vandervliet, our fastest time today in the group in the qualifiers, up against Tony Blazejack, the 2nd fastest time today. No surprise to see these 2 powerful athletes matched up here today. Flying Grill Academy, number 48 there in the orange helmet. That's Jacob Vandervliet with the fastest time today in this group. Has just been very dominant to this point, but I must say the same of Tony Blazejack, number 37 in black. Looks like he's been saving it for this ride today. A measured attempt from both of these riders. It almost looked like they were able to cruise it in at the end. Just kind of in a category of their own against these other athletes today. So let's see how these 2 open up this competition in their first ride. Again, the faster time to the rider in black and blue just by the 200-meter times. And we're talking about a 1/10 of a second here, folks. It's not a huge difference, but you know that can play a very big role in the way that these riders play this thing out. And I still think Blazejack is saving a little bit for this ride tonight. He wants to really put on a show against Van der Vliet. The two of them taking this much more like a traditional first lap. You think, man, if that's how all these are going to be, it's going to be over in no time. Well, generally speaking, in the match sprint, these first laps are a little bit more patient as riders play a little bit more of a mind game, a posturing game, and they're certainly going to take their time until that big jump happens somewhere in that second lap, most typically. Down the back straight, they're still sitting side by side with one another. Van der Vliet on the inside, controlling the position. You'd think he's got the shorter distance to the sprinter lane. He's also making it a little bit tough for Blazejack to turn left, so Blazejack will back off a little bit. And you'll see this in the sprints too, a lot of forward and backward movements as riders kind of figuring out where they're going to sit as the acceleration starts. And these little changes in position can play out very big. So far, it's all the same here now as Van der Vliet kind of resumes similar pacing and time. He pulls down a little bit, Blazejack following suit. As we come out of turn 4, still not up to any kind of real speed here. Typically, this is where it picks up just a little bit of tempo as the bell's ringing. Both riders will carry it into turn 1, still sitting side by side with Van der Vliet, guarding the left-hand turn of Blazejack. Van der Vliet making some movements, almost forcing Blazejack to consider moving close to the rail. He backs off just a hair. No jump yet from either rider. Van der Vliet starts to sneak his way down towards the spinner's lane, still leaving a bit of a run for it. Blazejack showing attack now down the hill. Both riders up to speed. Here we go. The sprint really fully engaged. Van der Vliet's got a bit of an advantage in distance, but he's going to be able to give some of that slipstream to Blazejack, who finds the acceleration. We might have a good sprint here, folks. Side by side, here they come. Van der Vliet and Blazejack. Blazejack, can he get enough acceleration? It will not be enough. Van der Vliet continues to look so strong here today. 48 by almost a bike length. Blazejack just could not get on top of it enough there on the home straight as he came around the outside, and he started to lose some ground in the finishing moments there. That 1/10 of a second still playing a big factor here today. The elite men ride for 3rd and 4th coming on the track now, followed by the ride for 1st and 2nd for the elite men. Kiddie Kilo riders, one more call. All Kiddie Kilo riders come on over for staging and preparation. A request for our athletes to drop the tents as much as you can for visibility. We'd appreciate now at this stage in the night if you could drop the tent as low as it can go. You can keep the tops on. Please drop the tents down. Thank you. Number 24. Usually, if you're a Friday night race fan, you've seen him in the colors of purple and green. He's been the rider of the year all season long. John Bowie, the Waterline Racing Team, tonight finally race. Well, that's right. There was one night, wasn't there? I didn't get corrected on that earlier. There was one night in which that wasn't the case. I got to see him wear some blue for 2 weeks. Been overall very strong rider, sort of a mixed endurance rider with great finishing speed, but he's showing his stuff today in this elite men's sprints. He comes in with the 3rd fastest time in qualifying, and he goes up against a real competitor out of Dan Fraser-Morar for the Red Truck Racing presented by Mosaic Homes team. I didn't know he was going to be able to put down this kind of a show today in the sprints, but he also has been kind of upsetting a couple of competitors and continues to improve. Made it look a bit easy getting here, to be honest, so this is going to be a tough one for Bowie. I've nicknamed him and coined him the undeniable one, as Bowie is hard to beat in just about any event this season. But we're going to see now as both riders getting up to tempo down into the back straight. Our rider for Red Truck Racing gets things underway first at the blue line. He's leaving the lane wide open on either side, but Bowie goes high here, actually. Both riders kind of hitting the turn side by side. This is a good matchup here between Bowie. Oh, it might be our rider in blue starting to accelerate. It's going to be close. Bowie does start to smooth it out a bit at the end, and he gets it in good dominant fashion. Fraser-Morar was so close. Moreau was on a tear there coming out of turn 4, but a good recovery from Bowie. He comes down into the flat and finishes it up. Here comes a ride for 1st and 2nd place today in the sprints. This is going to be another fantastic matchup. We got local talent versus very much out-of-town talent. 2 top speed riders out of the qualifiers. They got a bye in the 1st round. They earned it because their speed is impressive. We have the local for coefficient of speed, He's wearing number 12 today. Andrew Carlberg lined up along the rail, and his challenger today, all the way from Argentina, number 32, Matteo Morasis, in a head-to-head battle for first and second. And the ride's underway. In the previous race, an official's warning, number 25, for not holding the line in the sprint. That's an official warning for 25 for not holding the line in the sprint from the previous race. The Argentinian, number 32, the national talent of his country and a speedster here today, was our second fastest time by 0.02 of a second, was beaten by Carlberg. That is slim margins, folks. So these two riders well matched in terms of top speed. It's going to come down to the approach and the timing here between these two riders, and each of these rides so important. Every little decision matters when there's just 2 laps to be raced. Right now, Matteo takes the lead spot and continues to hold on to it. It is his duty to do so as he drew for position 1. He'll maintain pace. Carlberg holds on behind him, leaving about a bike length currently. Both riders with great patience once again here. You'll see this from our top speed riders. They know they've got great power and amazing jump, so they're going to try to use that twitch muscle, that quick ability to accelerate to their advantage. That threat of that quick jump, always very important here in the sprint. The collegiate track national champion for the sprints, a second place finish, I believe, actually, for Matteo, has already proven himself on a big stage in this event. Andrew Carlberg is the track record holder for the 200 meter and a 30-34 record holder for the world for his speed. So we know that both of these riders have proven themselves, but here today for the first time they get to match up head to head, and we get to be privy to that matchup. It's going to be exciting to see both riders pulling up towards the rail. Hesitation. Matteo pulls left. He still has Carlberg glued to his rear wheel. Carlberg will take the lane, but he's not going to dive in for speed. He's just repositioning, and now both riders using the hill. A little bit of a jaunt up and down. Carlberg up and out of the saddle. He's waiting and baiting for some bite here, not getting a lot, so he's just going to go and make the jump now. Matteo's got a big gap here. If he can jump on that wheel, he's going to have great acceleration into the slipstream. He might be able to slingshot right over the top of Carlberg. It's going to be side by side. Carlberg in a good position on the sprinter's lane, but Matteo made such a good run at it. Side by side, Matteo will get the first one. The Argentinian with great acceleration out of turn 4. What a fantastic close that was. Left the gap and ran at that rear wheel. You're going to see that in the sprints where you say, why are they leaving so much room? Well, it's about all that acceleration, that momentum that the rider carries into the slipstream. Well played, and a close match for those two. We'll see them again as we carry on for more. Speaking of carry on for more, it's time for the very best, the very wonderful Kiddie Kilo. We're going to be bringing out the youngsters onto the track for some fun lap around this velodrome here. We are all about an inclusive community for all, and that includes the kids. We want to see the youngsters on the bikes. We want to support athletes of all ages here at the Jerry Baker Memorial Velodrome. For any of you that were fortunate enough to know Jerry Baker, the Baker family made this place a reality, and one of the missions from the very beginning for Jerry and this velodrome was to be a part of the Redmond community and be supportive of young athletes. There's always been a junior racing program presence here, junior training opportunities, camps, and clinics. And another way we keep that alive is by inviting the kids out here for a fun lap around the track. We'll send it down to Amara to invite the kids for their lap around.
All right, this is our first big kid group. It's going to be one lap around the track. Are you ready?
Yeah!
Nice. Here we go. Ready, set, go!
They only see you once, everybody. You got to really make noise the one time that you get to see them. There we go. It's been a Kiddie Kilo season. This will actually be the finale of that season. Yes, we're going to take a week off for the first time in, I think, 5 weeks of Kiddie Kilos next week. So it's been a lot of kids here at the Velodrome. We've had huge groups the last couple of weeks. Fun to watch, including the entire track covered with the push bikes. That's been fun to watch. We'll see what we got today. But this is the big kids starting things off. We'll work our way down to the youngsters as we go. All right, corner 4. Let's hear ya. There we go. Into the grass after your fast lap. Nice job. All the way to the grass. Nice job. Nice job. Couple more finishers here. Here we go. And we'll bring out our next group. Got a couple more we're trying to invite out here. There we go. Just being careful.
All right, we're getting everybody down here. This looks like a speedy group. We're gonna go one whole lap. Are you ready? There we go. Here we go. One speedy lap. Ready, set, go. They went before I said go. Go, go, go.
She's got a free pass in the basket. That's why. Nice. That is a speedy group. They are hustling nicely there. The future of sport and everything else good here in Redmond, Washington. Even at our premier race of the year, we have room for the kids. That's how we do here at the Velodrome. All right, all right, all right. Good finish here for our first rider from the group. Woohoo! Bike and helmet coordination, the colors, that's always good. That's right, help our finishers out here. A few more coming through. Great job. You can tell these ones are a little bit younger and they are working hard. Nice job all around the track. Not only are there Kiddie Kilos, we got other ways to get kids involved. We have a few more spots in August for the Camp Velo opportunity for young riders. That's ages 8 to about 16 usually. Riders can sign up for that week-long camp through the website, velodrome.org, and go to the education tab where you can learn about our adult classes. The Try the Track classes are just an hour long if you want to get out here and just try a track bike out. Or, of course, Camp Velo. All that is kind of the first step to becoming a racer yourself. Most of the riders you see compete here at the Grand Prix on a normal Friday night are local riders, local athletes. They work and live amongst us. They just chose to sign up for a class and start racing. And you too can join them if you think that might be something you're interested in. Start at velodrome.org and sign up for a class.
We got excited folks here. One whole lap. Are you ready? All right, ready, set, go!
Off they go for their fast lap. We have a few more Kiddie Kilos in the month of August. The first and third Friday in the month of August is another opportunity for the young riders to come and join us. So if you're out there and you know a youngster who might enjoy the opportunity to ride their bike around the track just for fun, they can join us here on a Friday in August. First and third Friday in the month of August. Another set of Kiddie Kilos coming your way. Here they come, back onto the home straight. Showing love for the kids. Nice job. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. You're almost there. Whoa. The catch. Into the grass. You're all done. You're all done. Nice job. Into the grass. Down into the grass. There you go. We've had to add more volunteers because the new generation of kids is more adventurous. They just want to do the track, man. They want to get up there. Like I can find my own way. Thank you very much. I signed up for racing on the track, not this concrete part down here. Into the grass, kids. Into the grass and off of the cement. We got more people coming. There you go. Very nice. Let's get our next group out. I think we've got at least one more on the normal bikes and plenty of in the balance bike category upcoming, it looks like. The 2023 Vision Grand Prix taking a break just for a moment from the adult racing to watch the real reason we're all here, the kids. A couple more groups still to go, and they keep getting younger. We got just a few more of the youngsters to go through here. The Broadmark Masters Cat 3 Sprints final ride number 2 is right after the Kiddie Kilo is wrapped up. So our second ride in the sprints coming up right after the Kiddie Kilo is finished up. We need that rider on the bike still to come down. We got one more on the blue bike to come join us if they're going to ride.
We were getting a last-minute number pin. It's important. Gotta have the numbers. They're so cool. Yeah, our kids get cloth numbers. They're fantastic. All right, this group, you're going to do one whole lap. Are you ready?
Yeah!
These guys win already. Here we go. Ready, set, go!
All right, can I get a big round of applause for everybody in Kiddie Kilo tonight? It is so awesome to have all these young people interested in biking and coming out here on a beautiful Friday night. So I have a couple of our racers here today. Can you say your name and how old you are?
I'm Brooks, and I'm 6. I'm Larson, and I'm 6.
And what is your favorite thing about biking?
I like winning.
Winning, that's pretty cool. What about you?
I just like it because it's fun.
It is fun. That is why all of us are out here tonight. All right, and do you guys think that when you're big and strong, you're going to come back and race with the Masters?
Yes. Yes.
All right, thank you guys so much. Let's give a big round of applause for them.
Because it's fun. That is a good reason to ride your bike, I must say. Because it's fun. The kids remind us of that, don't they? Here they come. It's almost time to start the big push bike crew. And there they go. It's the push bikes down the home straight. Look out, they're coming in large numbers. One more time to put your hands together. This is our last group here. Here they come. Down into the grass, everybody. Down to the grass. Follow the pointing. There you go. Down into the grass. Good job, good job. Down into the grass. There you go. Great job, little ones. The Strider bike's out in fashion. Nice with the feet up. That was good form. I wish I could still do that. Oh, and the scooter made their way out too. Nice. Way to go. All right, as our finishers, we got a few more coming across. We're starting to invite folks to make their way back to the exit the same way they came in. You can bring your youngsters their bikes. Ma's and Pa's, thank you so much making your way towards the exit. Thank you for joining us for Kiddie Kilo here at the Vision Grand Prix. All of our riders and families make their way back the way you came in. Thank you so much. How about one more round of applause, everybody, for the kids, Ma's and Pa's. Kiddie Kilo. Great job, kids. A nice showing here once again for the Vision Grand Prix for the youngest riders in our competition today. Awaiting our finishers here to make their way off. We're going to be calling the second round in the sprints for both the Broadmark Masters Cat 3 and Elite Men to the ready area. All right, we're about ready to start this next thing. We need all of our Kiddie Kilo fans and friends of the Velodrome to make their way back out to enjoy the rest of the racing from outside the rails. Good time to stop by the Issaquah ice cream trike for a cold treat. That sounds pretty good right about now. It's been a nice hot afternoon going into this evening. Dreamy Drinks also serving up refreshments. Get a quick espresso pick-me-up, a milk tea, the boba included, good times, and of course, the food truck's still open back here. We got Jessica's Unique Bites with the best French fries out of a food truck, in my opinion. Taco Cortez also serving up right behind the grandstands. Handmade burritos, tacos, and the likes. Good chance to put in a quick order here before we start back up with the high speed that is this sprint tournament. First up will be the ride for third and fourth between Miller and Andrew, and on deck is the ride for first and second between Vandervliet and Blazejack here in the Masters Cat 3 Broadmark Sprint Tournament. Lining up for their second ride here today on the outside, number 23, besting number 69 in the first ride. It's Christian Miller for 10-Speed Hero, taking on Thomas Andrew, number 69, the rider on the inside position, trying to find a win here to continue on another ride in a best-of-3 format. Our two riders getting set to start here in just a moment as we check in with our officials for their start. And on deck, our ride for first and second, ready to start after this. Comex Valley Cycle Club rider in the front position, getting beat to the line last time at a powerful jump by Miller on the back half of that second lap. Miller made the lap fast from the front. So this is already a different start than we saw in their first matchup. This 23 has advantage. If he wins here, it's done. He'll pick up the third place overall and be on the podium tonight in good position and a good start in this sprint omnium for the weekend. Thomas Andrews going to do everything he can to stop that, and this is already a very different looking race. So looks to be potential for a different turnout and a different result, hopefully for 69's purposes here, as he's hoping to figure out a way to beat that jump from Miller. Maybe look for a different position or a different way to begin this attack. Miller takes that sprinter's lane again. This is about where he was in the last race, is kind of leading things out from the sprinter's lane, forcing Andrew to hold tempo with him. Bit of hesitation now as both riders move back to the rail. A bit of the pace pulled away here as Miller allows things to kind of gradually roll up that hill. He's watching the right shoulder. He knows that's where his competition currently is, looking for some sort of movement. Both riders take the high ground now. The lane's wide open to the left on the hill. Both could take advantage of that potential energy with the left-hand turn. A little fall in the sprinter's lane. Both riders hold their line high down into the flat. They'll go, oh, a little move to the left for a moment. Both riders still holding on to the jump. Now the acceleration coming from the back a bit as Miller's waiting to see the acceleration side by side for a moment. This looks pretty good for Miller. If he can hold on to the similar speed he had last time, he might be able to end this thing here and now. And it looks like your rider from 10-Speed Heroes got enough. Number 23 does it twice in a row. And that'll be good for third today in the Masters Cat 3 Sprint Tournament. Looks like we're going to send it down for a quick interview with our Aussie on field here. We're going to send it to Chase.
All right, so can everybody give a big round of applause to Liz Ann Fox, because just this morning she completed the 1-hour Guinness World Record on the penny farthing. Okay, Liz Ann, I think that people need to know. How on earth does one get into this sport?
Yeah, it was kind of by accident. Like a bunch of my friends rode penny farthings because that's what you do. And they knew that I was a track racer, and they're just like, hey, Lizanne, would you like to? And I was just like, sure. A few months later, they're like, would you like to ride nationals? And I was just like, sure.
You've just sured your way into national record.
All right, well, yes, it was fun to watch you today. I had to actually look up a few facts about the penny farthing just to know what I was going to be talking about today. So, again, congratulations to Liz Ann. I think we're still down with her. We can send it back to Chase to finish that up.
All right, and I hear something about a gear ratio that is different from regular bikes and penny farthings.
Yeah, so everyone talks gear ratio with track, and you're just like, what does that mean? So I ride a 47-inch track bike, which is a 47-inch track gear ratio. So I'm running 25-14 out there, just like cutting hour laps. And oh man, the cadence on that, just because the gear's so little, and I need bigger legs to run a bigger gear. So one day when I grow taller, I'll be able to ride a 50-inch.
And one day when you are taller, what is it you're planning on doing next?
Yeah, so my sprint coach, because apparently I'm a track sprinter, has been heckling me for a few years. After the hour record, I'm going to do an Everest.
Fantastic. Thank you, Lizanne.
Thank you, Lizanne, and congrats again on setting our Guinness World Record here for the women in the penny farthing hour ride. We'll see more of her this weekend. Right now, it's Blaze Jack taking on Vandervliet in the second ride. The rider in the back, this is a similar position for Vandervliet. He needs to get the win here to close out the series. Blazejack doing a nice job keeping the distance a bit bigger this time. The gap pretty big. Blazejack trying to hold on from the front. The catch starting to happen, but I think we're going to have a third ride. Oh, that is a close one. Blazejack had great positioning in Vandervliet with closing speed. We're going to check the camera to confirm. It looked good on the inside, but Vandervliet's acceleration might have been too much. Vandervliet gets the call and goes 2-0 in the series, besting Blazejack by the smallest of margins at the line. An impressive return to speed there for Vandervliet, and our rider, number 48, Jacob Vandervliet, will be your champion for the Flying Gorilla Academy here in the Masters Cat 3 Broadmark Sprint Tournament. Coming up the track now, it's the ride for third and fourth for the elite men in their second ride. I catch my breath after that exciting finish and trying to get all that information out quickly in that last half lap. Here we come back to a matchup between these two, which last time looked very close. Bowie was able to pull out a pretty convincing win, but not by the largest of margins. He's going to have to try to find it again if he wants to win, number 24. Number 25 in the white with blue, excuse me, right with red in the front position. Trying to get the win here to force the third ride would be our first one if so. Otherwise, we might have a short tournament here today, as both of the Masters Cat 3 rides were done, 2 and done. And Fraser Moore on the rider in white and red for Red Truck Racing, presented by Mosaic Homes, still at the front. Number 25 gets the bell first. It's lined up right behind him with about a bike length separating them is Bowie trying to hold on here as they both kind of roll things up at the rail. Again, that left lane wide open for both. So this means that the rider in front's really watching to see if there's going to be a jump. Bowie waited for him to look away, and he makes the jump quickly. A nice classic maneuver. Great sprinting savvy from Bowie. I know him as an endurance master, but he's showing today that he's got great savvy here in the sprints. The undeniable one, not to be stopped. It was close to the line last time. He doesn't want it to be even close this time. Bowie rocking and rolling out of turn 2. Takes the third place today in the sprint tournament for the elite men in really dominant fashion in that second race. And finally, a race for first and second. The rematch here. Will this one go to a third ride? Andrew Karlberg certainly hoping so. I guess I'm putting words in his mouth. Number 12 lining up on the outside for the coefficient of speed. Needs to find the win here, or it'll be number 32, Mateo Morasis, the winner, as he picked up the win in the first round. And our head-to-head match off and away. Karlberg has the lead duties at the moment. Number 12 sits near the front, while right behind him, number 32, Mateo Morasis. Coming all the way in from Argentina. Round 2 for this rider. Looked really good in the first ride between these two as Karlberg had a good run at it. But again, the recovery speed from the Argentinian and the finishing acceleration he had here on the home straight, a bit too much for our local talent. And now Karlberg trying to figure out a new way to approach this high-speed competitor. Karlberg sort of controlling the sprinter's lane at a moderate tempo, just looking for the right shoulder, both beginning to move a little bit higher on the hill. It's the rider in front who needs to win this to ride to a third race. The rider in back, if he wins this, it's done. He'll be on the champion spot for the sprint tournament. Morasis continuing to dance around, keeping Karlberg looking left and right. Karlberg continuing to look over the left shoulder. He knows that's the only way to go. Both riders holding on to the attack still as we hit the corner. Now a bit of a move down the hill. Morasis takes the inside lane. Both riders reset for a second. Still no top speed. Going into the climb on the hill. Now Karlberg has to reaccelerate. Now they're going to try to use the downhill, but I think Morasis has just pinned him. He doesn't have enough left for this jump. Mateo Morasis with a dominant finish. will put in an absolute monstrous sprint here and show what he's made of. Carwick says, you got me. Great race and a good finish as Mateo crushes it nicely here. A 2-0 for all of our champs here in the sprint tournament today. We'd love to see a third ride, but sometimes that's just the way it plays out. Coming up now, it's the Gregg's Elite Open Women Keirin, first with the minor final and then the major final. Our 7 through 12 riders will come up first. We saw Keirin earlier. This is going to be the same kind of race. The race for these riders, 7 through 12, place on the line after the 4 laps is completed. And the Pacers on their way. Pacer on the home straight. Riders ready. And off we go for the minor final. 4 laps. Jessica Law, number 112, once again draws first spot. She'll be behind the Pacer to start. That's Lucy Dorr, number 123 for the Jerry Baker Juniors in second wheel position. Right here, Tracy Jones-Martin of the Atomic Race Team, number 107. Heather Nielsen for Center Cycles is number 103, the rider in blue, in 4th spot behind the Pacer. Victoria Parkin, mixed colors behind her, in 5th wheel. And then finally also for the Jerry Baker Juniors in the black with the red and blue, we got Lucy Gilchrist, number 104, your 6th rider in the lineup, seeing 3 to go. Lap and a half left with the Pacer as we'll bring him up to speed and drop him off for this race for 7th through 12th. Your champions in the Keirin still to be found here for the Open Women contest. Coming up next, the major final, the race for 1st through 6th on deck, followed by the Gregg's Elite Open Women, the Broadmark Masters Cat 3 sprints all wrapped up. The Broadmark Elite Men sprints all wrapped up, which means the 5-mile scratch race immediately follows the major final for the Keirin. Again, riders in the 5-mile scratch, the Stanley Masters Cat 3 5-mile scratch are on deck after the major final for the Keirin. Getting up to speed here, our lineup still all in position. The Pacer pulling off on the back straight. Now the race will be under the power of Jessica Law at the very front. She'll take the lead spot and continue to drive the pace. We saw in the qualifying round, she pulled up here in turn 3. She continues on the pace now. Lucy Dorr is on her wheel, trying to glue into the position and just not allow this thing to pull away from her. Bouncing up onto the home straight now and fanning out all over the track. 1 to go. 1 to go. Number 112 still on the inside, holding the sprinters lane down right now. The sprint for 7th through 12th in this group. Gilchrist repositions herself nicely towards the front, but now here comes Tracy Jones-Martin of the Atomic Racing Team. Good talent here, trying to pull away from the rest of the crowd, and she looks like she'll be able to do so. Gilchrist holding on nicely here. The junior trying to make a nice run at the line. Here we go. The sprint is on. Oh, Atomic Racing figures this one out. Jones-Martin looking very strong there to hold on for 7th overall, and your junior, 2nd across the line, will be good for 8th in the overall Keirin. A good race for her. And now the major final, the race for 1st through 6th place. That's right, Amar's reminding you, this is a show, and you're a part of it. So when the riders come by, do be a part of the fun. They appreciate it, we appreciate it. Let's make this place so special. We've talked to lots of riders from all over the world, and that is one of the very first things they mention Division Grand Prix, this is the place you come if you want the crowds, you want the cheering, you want the noise. This is a good environment for it. In the major final, we see our riders lined up and getting set to go. On the inside for Center Cycles, it's Annette Williams. Right next door, also in the blue kit for Rice University, that's Kelly Darlene. For Team Mama Bears, sitting up there in the third position, that's Jenna Lingwood. Next door to her, the local speedster for the Jerry Baker Juniors, it's Danny Scoville. Next door for Triple Shot Cycling Club up in line 5 is Kimberly Chen. And finally, for the St. George Cycling Team, our Australian, the Penny Farthing Master, and of course the speedster on the track bike, Lizanne Fox in lane 6. The pacer getting the signal, and we're on our way. This to crown the champion here for the weekend for the Gregg's Open Women Keirin, our top speedsters qualifying for this event by being top 3 in their heats, and then they ride for a second time for honors to be on the podium in this high-speed event that puts together some of the fastest talent in our region. The pacer coming onto the home straight now. Riders ready. And we're off with the race. These first laps, of course, pretty well predetermined. Some of the fields you might see mix up the order, but they did draw for position before this race starts, so it's going to be Annette Williams that must come up to the bike first, and she'll do so here. Everybody else following into their position as expected. Williams in lane 1 up to the bike. Right behind her, Kelly Darlene. 2 names that are here every single week throwing down on Friday nights. Williams always good in these events, but she's going to be looking for a wheel, I can imagine, want to reposition this thing if she can once that pacer's out of the way. Also look out for Danny Scoville. Always good in the sprint. Rider in the 4th position there in the black with the blue. Always good in these races. We already saw what Lingwood could do in the qualifier. Looked so strong as she was able to pull away from the competition. Number 113's got a good wheel there too, right behind Scoville. And of course, Lizanne Fox is an international talent, many-time champion, a top speedster in many events. And we've seen what she can do time and time again here at the Grand Prix as I've been on the mic calling Lizanne winning many a Keirin and many a high-speed event at the Grand Prix. We'll see what she can do again here tonight. The rider at the very back, certainly one to watch, and I would put it as probably a favorite here tonight. At 2 to go, a half lap remains. Before the pacer pulls off and we've got the race fully underway, it's Annette Williams' race to lead at that moment. What will she do with the opportunity and the position she has? Again, I wouldn't be surprised we have a reset, but she's going to hold the pace for now. We hit turn 3. Williams looking over the shoulder. She's playing it a bit coy. She moves up to the blue line, leaving room for Lingwood, who's going to continue the pace. Lingwood pushes down the pedal. She's on the front now, seeing 1 to go. Lingwood on the lead. Acceleration coming. Put your hands together. Make some noise. The sprint's underway. Lingwood leading things out. Scoville on the wheel still. Fox way at the back currently. Going to be some movement down the back straight, I believe. Lingwood still holding on to it. Scoville in a great position. Down into turn 3. It's still Lingwood just holding on to the front of this thing. Kimberly Chen also lined up trying to make the run at it. Lizanne Fox finally making it up here. Lingwood all the way around the track. Can anyone come around her? Lingwood up and out of the saddle. Lingwood. Oh, it's Chen on the outside. 113 with a run at it. The rider all the way back from 5th position. Moves up on the home straight with great speed. Triple Shot Cycling Club, I believe, number 113, gets to the line just ahead of Lingwood in that high-speed finish. And now it is time. The track is clear and we are ready to bring out our next group. It is the the Stanley Masters Cat 3 5-mile scratch, 20 laps on this one, and we've got a field, folks. We're going to be filling up this track with speedsters, some of them your local favorites, others you may not have seen before here at the Velodrome coming in from out of town, but it's meant to be a fast and fun weekend here at the Grand Prix. The 20-lap scratch to the rail and about ready to start. Our thanks to Stanley for their support and making racing happen this year. The Stanley Masters Cat 3 5 miles set to start here soon. Nearly 40 riders here lined up, if not 40. Our maximum field size being met here essentially. And there's a whistle for the neutral. Our first mass start race of the night. Here we go, folks. It's Friday night, but turned up another notch. We dialed it up to 11. In this case, up to 40. The riders have shown up in number to throw down here today in a 20-lap scratch race. Scratch racing is about going the distance marked for the laps. 20 laps is the distance. At 1 to go, we're going to hear a bell, and then the race comes over to conclusion on the very next lap. Your first rider across the line is the winner. I think that's what most people think about when they think of a race. Right now, they're in the neutral. Hasn't started just yet. We'll get them started out of turn 4. Our big field still all together. Got to get the start out of turn 4. If they're still all together, you'll hear another whistle from the official signaling the beginning of racing, and 20 laps will be on the cards. And there's a signal. Racing's underway. Put your hands together one more time as the big field's all together. The racing's underway at the Grand Prix. 20 to go. And already the action's starting to pick up. As you can hear, the field has a lot of energy and a lot of tension already building up in them as they know this is going to be fast, it's going to be furious, it's going to be crazy. And 20 laps, it seems like it's a long time, but under the power of these big groups here tonight, it's going to go quick. And you'll see the acceleration from these riders here very fast. As already we're starting to see some movement out the front. It looks like Kit Colbert trying to make something happen right away here at 19 to go. And I'm going to send it down on the field. Looks like Chase is going to be speaking with one of our sprinters, and maybe with Mateo, if I'm not mistaken. Chase, who you got here? There he is.
So this is Mateo. He is our sprint winner tonight. Can I get a huge round of applause for Mateo? All right, so you are not from here. You have traveled far and wide to come to our lovely Velodrome. What would you say are the biggest differences between training here and training back home?
Okay, hello everyone. So I'm from Argentina. I moved to the US 4 years ago. I go to school in Kentucky. We don't have a track there, so I have to travel to Indianapolis once a week to ride. The biggest difference is the length of the tracks. This one is 400, Indy is 330 free. So that's the main difference, I would say.
That's fantastic. And what would you say your sprint strategy is? Of a lot of people, you seem to be up and down and back and forth and all across the track. Is that intentional, or are you just having fun?
Yes, it is always intentional. I'm trying to see what the other person is going to do accordingly to how I'm moving, but there is no one strategy. It's always changing depending on the rider I'm racing against.
Very nice. Thank you so much. Another huge round of applause for Mateo, everybody.
And our thanks to Chase for being on the microphone down there to get some of the story from our riders this weekend. Always great to hear from the great talent traveling all the way in, or even from our local talent. Always great to hear from these athletes and what they've got going on. Currently in the race, we've had pretty consistent tempo in this big field, sort of feeling each other out here. Scratch racing is usually all about the big finish. In a big field like this, though, sometimes you're going to have some upstarts. They're going to try to make something happen. Once they see an opportunity, you might just see someone try to pull away and make some noise in the front of the field. That's Alex Huey, who I got to watch this morning a bit in the sprint tournament, leading things out, number 73. With the flashiest set of wheels in the group. If you're looking at him from the opposite side, you can see the sun picking up that kind of rainbow multicolor reflection. $14 to go. Mike Dolly, number 19, at the front for just a moment. Gives way for Dylan Lawson, who pulls out of the way quickly. Lawson coming out of Atlanta, Georgia. His first time visiting Seattle. Riding all the way out here to compete this weekend. The rider that was at the front there just for a moment in the light blue with the white helmet. Now a bit of an acceleration from one of the youngsters. Will Fowler for the J. Baker Juniors tries to pick the pace back up again. You can see him accelerating quickly and pulls a group along with him. We are starting to do a cash collection for Preems for riders. If you'd like to help raise $1 or $2 to go into a big Preem bucket, we're going to raise money to throw at our riders tonight and make one of the laps fast during the scratch races later on today. You can find our juniors walking around for the Jay Baker Juniors team, or I think Amara's going to be in the beverage garden. If you want to throw $1, a $5, a $10, a $20 in there, know it's going to go into the back pocket of one of our athletes here tonight. We'd appreciate that. Again, look out for the red buckets and the kids asking for some cash. It's going to go right back here in the Velodrome to one of the riders racing here today. Our group rotating around pretty frequently here. No attacks off the front. Good acceleration a few laps ago from one of our juniors. We've seen this kind of like heavy, wide back end and a nice long single file. And just as I'm talking about it, we do have a bit of an effort now starting to pull away. Two riders beginning to think this is a chance to maybe pick up an acceleration off the front of the group. And this will start to make a bit of a scramble, as you can see riders near the front of the field feeling this might be the time to go. Oh, a solo rider starting to make themselves really felt here. On to the home straight. Let's see where we got here at exactly the halfway point. We have rider 27 is Carl Cunningham for the Stranamonte cycling team. Feeling good here. Has been putting in some good efforts on Friday nights the last couple weeks. And he's joined by a group of 3. We have a break of 4 now beginning to form. A couple riders maybe feeling the pressure out of the group. I see Maddie Hers making the bridging effort now. The rider in blue with the white helmet goes quick to try to catch on to the break here. Seeing 9 to go, our front group looking pretty strong. Number 60 kind of setting into their setup here, Fergus Tanaka for the Small Monsters Project, and the all black kid at the very front now. A decorated world champion himself, I believe, in the points race for his age group. Tanaka putting himself in a great position there at the front to try to establish a little bit of dominance, just pick up the pace and force some reactions. He gets Cunningham back onto the effort, and this group that's breaking away is looking a little bit more like a strung out lead out now in the front of the field, as more and more riders are jumping onto the wheel of another and holding on to the acceleration at 8 to go. Riders scrambling to make the break here a little bit. We see the back end repositioning, riders stringing themselves out and trying to close in on this thing before it gets away from them. It looks like most of the riders will stay in contention. As 1 or 2 are feeling the pressure of the pace falling off the back a bit. Good tempo here in the middle part of the race, and now it's Ben Flom at the front for a moment. Matty Hers right behind him. There's number 65, David Miller for Red Kilo Racing in the second wheel spot now. This is such a big field, and with so many out-of-towners, it's hard to know how this race will conclude. If it's a big bunch sprint, who knows who's going to find way their front. There's a lot of good top-speed talent in here. And if this thing doesn't get shrunk down, we've got some fast finishers that are going to work their way to the front and make this thing pretty exciting. As it stands, we continue to watch this group work around. Here comes another one of our Portland competitors for Team Epic. Gavin Newman at the front. Resets the tempo a little bit, number 78. There goes Red Kilo again. This time it's David Girth, number 63. A couple of his teammates in the field back behind him, and he takes the lead out position now, stringing this group out again. None of this is coming into any sort of result besides just constant acceleration, making the group work and stay with this movement. Look for the riders that haven't had their names called too much to also be a big factor at the end of this race. Is they haven't been having to do a lot of the work yet. They haven't been pulling much at the front. They could still be a big factor, just hiding in this field and saving for the big finish. Here comes a rider from Gene Johnson Cycling now, Andrew Lynch, number 80. Has had a good season here at the Velodrome this year, as well as last. I believe he came in with bib number 301, a speedster himself. He takes the front for just a moment and pulls up the field looking for the next thing that's going to happen at 4 to go. Premier Racing's got Justin Captis, number 68 at the front. 62 pulling up there alongside him, and that was Jay Delaney of the Lost Boys racing team. Essentially, again, most of our riders all together here in this field. A rider or two caught in the lap down situation, but other than that, quick racing for a few laps there, but now it's starting to pause a bit as riders are starting to plan their position and get ready for the big high-speed finish. Here comes Fun Cycling at 3 to go. We haven't seen this rider yet. It's Carl Hofer, number 41. Makes a big break here, tries to push away. Good acceleration from him. Here comes Tanaka again, though, to try to get rid of that lead really quickly. Number 60, flying back into this one. Sitting in turn 3 together now, 2 riders off the front of this field. Join together and try to make it fast again before the finish. The fast finishers are going to have to start working their way up as it is strung out at 2 to go. Bell next time, 2 to go, 2 to go. Tanaka leading things out right now. It's still Hofer at the front. There's Dylan Lawson, number 75, coming back up to the front as well. And both of the lead riders will sit up. They know they haven't gotten away and the race is almost over. They need to try to reset themselves for the finish. But now we have a change of the lead. 2 more riders coming up to the front. I see Maddie Hers. I'll wait to see where our other rider is here. It's a group of 2. Looks like Lost Boys Baby coming up to the front along with Hers now. They're getting the bell. It's 1 to go. 1 to go. Are they going to let these 2 riders roll? It is Delaney, number 62, and Hers, number 4, off the front, riding together in a duo. They're just pulling away from the field. Hers and Delaney. Where is the sprint? The field's going to have to pick the pace up here quickly as it's both Hers and Delaney just rolling away on this scratch race. Anybody else going to be able to challenge coming around turn 3? It's still Hers and Delaney that pulled away from the field almost unchallenged. It looks so easy, so sneaky. Hers and Delaney. Hers with a great finish here in the 5-lap scratch. And out of the group, one of the juniors, David Magidson, gets 3rd overall in this massive field for the Cat 3s and Master Riders. And that's all we've got for that event. Riders exit on the back straight into the warm-up circle. Your 2 champs are going to make a quick roll around here so we can see them one more time and put our hands together for the combination of Hers here and Delaney, who got away off the front. Your winners in the Stanley Masters Cat 3 5 mile for coefficient of speed, Maddie Hers. Coming up now, the Experience Redmond Elite Men Elimination Race. About ready to start. As we stand by just for a moment to finish some scoring and make sure we're on pace before we start our next group here. An exciting finish there. I think Matt Hers was not just taking a victory lap. Look at him, he's lining up right at the front here of the elimination. I see you. Nice move. Double dipping there, number 4. This is the 2023 Vision Grand Prix. Thanks for making your way out to the Velodrome and enjoying the show with us here tonight. We've got great racing still in stock for everybody, as coming up next will be a very fun race, the Elimination for the Elite Men. It's not as bad as it sounds, I promise. Last rider, each lap will get pulled until we're down to the top 3 riders. A bell will ring, and then it'll be those 2 in a basically head-to-head matchup. Our pause right now is just for scoring purposes in that last big race. Following this, the Marymoor Crawl. All riders are available to come compete in the crawl. And after that, we go back to the Masters Cat 3 for their points race. Off and away we go. The race hasn't started yet. This is actually the neutral, but you wouldn't know it. Usually these are pretty fast laps here, as riders will fight already for positioning, and what is very important to be in the right place in these races right away. Once they come back around, if they're all together, our officials will start them out of turn 4. After that, every single lap that they complete, the last rider who crosses the line gets eliminated. We'll work our way down all the way, and again, a big field here today. Not quite the same size as the last group, but nearly as large. One more time around, we're not fully connected just yet. One more time around, the race is still neutral. Couple of double dippers here working their way up. And there's a whistle. Racing's underway. Next time around, last rider pulled from the group. The experienced Redmond Elite Man Elimination now underway in its first lap. This race a lot about feel and reaction to what's going on around you. You have to make quick judgments about whether you go high or low and what position you should be here in the field. Or you just race 2 in a row and give the wave and say, I am done and done. That is number 60 gets the call, and he knows it. Giving the wave to the group. Sounds like we have a mechanical situation here. The race is getting neutralized, it sounds like here. That is a neutralized race. We got the yellow flag up. The race is being neutralized. Neutralizing the race. Neutralizing. 4 laps. 4 laps. No elimination for 4 laps. Still have 3 laps for number 8 to make his way back in. We had a mechanical issue. The race is neutralized still. No eliminations. 3 laps remain for a rider to get back in. Yellow flag still showing. Race is in the neutral. Number 8 doing a quick exchange of wheels there. Seeing if he can get his equipment back and working again. At a bit of a, you heard that failure there on the home straight, that loud sound. Able to keep the bike up and bring it back in safely. We're thankful for that. Still being neutralized. 2 laps remain for the opportunity here for our athlete to get back in. Easy, okay, easy on the tempo, got it. We added a lap because it's going too fast. At least 2 more here at this stage. Looks like number 8's got themselves back on the bike. Well done, well done. Thanks to, it sounds like Mateo might have jumped up and provided some equipment here. Until we get the rider back in. All right, looks like if our rider can get back into position here, looks like they might be able to do so. And racing resumes. Next lap, we eliminate. Next lap, we eliminate. Racing's underway. Next lap, we eliminate. The elimination has resumed. Number 7 is Chris Wilson. Wilson. Watch the movement here from the back and near the rail. Oh, swing down low. May not have enough. Already knows it. Number 20, Stuart Gardner. It's strung out pretty long here at the back, and you're going to want to watch those riders as they try to position themselves. I see Brandon Russell, one of our local riders for the Fountain Cycling Guild, way at the back there in the green. He's got plenty of time and room to remaneuver himself. The effort, if you're back in that group, is fast and then slow, so a bit of recovery and then a bit of a sprint, bit of recovery and a bit of a sprint. If you're down near the front, it's just more of that consistent grind. Number 5 already sitting up is Ludo Max. He knew it was coming. Matthew Brady, pardon me. Number 31 all the way to the back there, now starting to push forward. Let's see who else is going to be moving around, trying to reposition themselves in the back of the field. (5'3", number 53, Thomas Perkins. For many laps here, my job is just going to be to make sure the riders know who's out. You can watch. Again, it's fun to watch that back top part of the group as there's a lot of movement and rotation there. A really critical choice these riders have to make and feel out. Do they go left? Do they go right? Do they go down low in the shorter lane? Race is neutralized. Two shots of the gun. We got a neutralized race for an incident. Riders down. Race neutralized. There was a tight spot there along the rail at the back as riders were trying to move up and around. I think both riders, they didn't have the room to maneuver. A little bit of contact there and tried to keep it upright for a long time, just wasn't able to do so. We're checking in with our rider from Strong Monty Cycling. Looks like Cunningham's down there for the moment. We're checking in with him. Once again, our thanks to the Sports Medicine Clinic for providing the support today for our athletes and being here for the last 20 years to cover our riders. The field's still in the neutral right now. We might be positioning ourselves here for the restart. We continue to check in with our rider from Strong Monty Cycling as we look back to the field now to continue this race. And the whistle sounded again. Racing is underway. We'll start eliminating again. Next lap, last rider is pulled from the group. Brad Cunningham, the rider for Kell Rohrbach, all the way at the back. In the black with that light kind of neon colored green accents, starting to push along and move up towards the rail himself right behind Brandon Russell. And at the back end there, number 39 is Lamin Wright. Lamin Wright will find his way off. Bit of rotation at the front here. A lot of movement between who's going to take the front position. You'll see riders approach in that second or third lane and then accelerate down into the front of the sprinters lane. They want to set the tempo and be consistent and keep the speed high. They know that's to their own benefit. Bowie takes over the front for Matty Hers, who was there for a while himself. 63, David Girth. So a long ways to go here to work our way down to our top riders. Continue to pull one per lap. Another change of the lead, this time for one of our juniors moving up. Our Strong Monty Cycling rider up on his own on feet. Good to see that. I can hear the crowd acknowledging our athlete. No call. No call. Still pulling this lap. No call on the previous. That's 28. 28. Cunningham. It's Brad Cunningham that time. And here we go again. Pretty wide across the back here. This is where it's going to get hard. If you're down that sprinters lane, you're going to watch riders continue to come over the top of you. 31. Matthew Brady. It wasn't the bottom that time. Kind of rider low, but in the middle of the group. Trying to find a space to hide inside of. Found out at the back of the group. Shauna Scooey, the rider from Marion University, who got the mechanical issue, got back in. Number 8 was at the back for a moment. He makes a nice acceleration around the outside. He should be able to stay in just fine. 4-1. 31. 31. We already had 31. 41. Carl Hofer. Hofer. Shauna Scooey at the back there again. Looks like we'll be able to find some room down low this time. Number 8, Sean Escui, Marion University. Number 8, not able to accelerate enough down low. It was between him and the big man, Luke Wilson. It'll be number 8 down the sprinter's lane, found out this time. Big jump here on the front, but at the back, we look and see, it looks like it's going to be number 2-3, Christian Miller's turn. That's Daniel Brewer for the Cheney Windows and Doors team, a national name and certainly a team full of some great talent. And a rider, Dan Brewer, is looking to put just a solo break in the front of this elimination. Tired of being anywhere near all the rest of the riders. 2-9 is Russell, Brennan Russell. An interesting move here in the elimination to have this solo breakaway. The field still having most of the riders in it, but if your rider from Cheney Windows and Doors stays away, he could just be the winner just by breaking away here. So it's still a race at the front, despite the fact that most of the action and interest is at the back end. Oh, down low. 17 is Dave Chipchase. It's number 82 again, Wilson, with a nice move to stay in the race. This time he had much more running room to do so. If you checked out your racers to watch in your programs, you would have seen Luke Wilson is the former Seattle Seahawk and Super Bowl champion turned cyclist, now part of our Velodrome community here. Oh. 62, Delaney. 62, Delaney. Super Bowl champ still back there. The rider for Center Cycles in the blue with the white helmet kind of dangling off the back now a little bit, but he's got a rider right behind him. The two struggling to stay onto the tempo here. Oh, not sure we have another lap here. Let's see, a good acceleration. Is it going to be enough? 1, Sandoval. Wilson leaving some room here. Looking down where it hurts, but I think he still has enough effort to get back up to the group. 2 dangling off the back now. Wilson going down low to try and take a break from all the sprinting. The field will accelerate away from him. And that'll be at 82, eliminated. Wilson. Great consistent speed from the front of this field. It is fast out there. I may not look it, but these riders have just been on a very consistent tear, and it's been made longer for some of our neutralizations that happened. It lengthened the race here, and so the toll has been pretty significant. This is a lot of endurance. This elimination requires great race smarts, a little bit of luck, and a lot of endurance to make it to this point. 22 is Martinez. It's between him and number 4. 4 gets it. Martinez called out this time for the Coefficient of Speed team. His teammate, number 4, Matty Hers, at the back of the group now, your winner of the previous scratch, and he races again here in the elimination, still looking like he's in great form to try to make it in at least to the top 10. We'll see how much longer he'll hold as he goes down into the bottom of the track. That was a tough place to go, and that'll be it for number 4. Matty Hers. That's usually the last move you'll make in a race when you're feeling tired and you go down to the left like that and it's about over. And that's how that'll end up for Hers today. Another change at the front. Lots of rotations here today. Every couple of laps we'll see the front of the race re-accelerate. And new riders wanting to take the spot away and hold on to the front. Oh, here we go. That's number 36. Sage DeLuce. Deluxe, I think, is actually the pronunciation now that I remember. Deluxe, got it. Okay, that's a better one. I like that. Looks to be, I think, about 14 riders still out here. Plenty more laps to sort this thing out. It's wide across the back. Whoa. Number 15 is Max Haggard. Still a strong group here. Lots of riders left to eliminate, though, and the racing just gets harder and harder as this has been a long one. 20 plus laps of elimination plus all that neutralization laps, and they were still hustling on those neutral laps. Ooh, look down low this time. Number 3, Baker. Trying to find room in the bottom there, just wasn't able to find a space to hide. Another switch at the front. You can just tell the kind of aggression that the riders are riding with as we keep having these change of leads all the way back in the back straight. Acceleration from the middle of the group, not even from the back, as they keep fighting for the front. Oh. .33 getting the official call. Kent Ross. .46 Fitzmaurice. Number 11, Nolan Single Adams. Did he mention he's single? Continues to play the devil again. He's been warming up for this weekend here. Last couple of Friday nights. Been doing this very well from the back as the race gets long. The rider in pink for Dyna Racing. Trying to be sneaky here. See if he can do another one. Oh, I just started to talk about you too. See you, number 11. Working down to 9, one of our juniors way at the back. Recent upgrade here for Merrick Gallagher, rising talent here at the Velodrome for the Jerry Baker Juniors. Can he hold on for another lap? He's here at the Vision Grand Prix in great form. He'll hold on for sure. Great acceleration. 25 gets eliminated. Number 25, Dan Fraser-Moran. If you don't know who to cheer for, you've got a local kid here, and he's going off the front. So a product of the Jerry Baker Juniors team, made a great showing at Elite Junior and Elite Nationals. He went with the team there for the Junior Nationals, had a good showing, and now he's off the front here a little bit, trying to make a good show of it tonight. Certainly not going to be eliminated this time. Let's walk to the back and see who will be. The home crowd loving it, though. 21, Emmett Culp. Culp making it all the way up here into the top 10. That's another name I have seen race many good races here at the Velodrome over the years. Not able to break into that top 5, though. As we're getting into pretty prime territory now, every elimination can really sting as they're so close to podium spots tonight. If they can just hold on a few more laps, it might be another racer for Red Truck Racing, though, in the second lineup there. Oh, making space. How did he do that? 61. That is going to be the local kid, Gallagher. How did he do that? There wasn't a space there. Campbell Parrish, I believe. Is there another rider from the team here? I think that's it. Wow, what a move to find the window there, make a window in the middle of that group. Determination. Next is the elimination. Will be the rider in 6th overall. Ooh, another sprint for it. 33. Kent Ross done here. Here you have your top 5. I see another one of the locals still made it all the way here. We haven't talked much about him. He's a champion year after year for Black Lodge Cycling. Zach Kovalchuk making the trip all the way out here. He's out there in the second wheel spot. I see Bowie at the back end. Our rider for Red Truck Racing, Campbell Parrish, still in the group as well. This group of 5, all veteran racers, great speedsters, one and all, champions already, fighting for top spots. Ooh, right across the track, it's so close. 2-4, it's Bowie at the top. Waterline Racing, Bowie. Down to 4, almost into the top 3, the first, second, and third places where the cash really rolls in. The prestige of the top spots on the podium. Coming around, here we go, another elimination to be found. Who's going to be 4th overall? Red Truck Racing being left out here a bit. And there goes Campbell Parrish. Daniel Brewer, number 30, still left in this one at the front now. He's got Zach Volchek right with him. Elliot Crowther, number 43, I believe the other rider in blue to make it all the way here. These top 3 have battled and fought to this moment. It's just 3 riders left. 30 started, 3 survived. This is the sprint for 3rd. Bell's ringing, it's going to be 1 to go. The sprint for 3rd. Kowalczyk in great fashion says, all right, here we go. Crowther and Kowalczyk. Haven't seen Crowther a ton in here in 2023, but he's a local rider making it out the last couple of weeks, improving his form week after week. Kowalczyk, if you haven't been to a Grand Prix before, you might not know his name. If you've been to a Grand Prix, you know Kowalczyk. This guy comes from anywhere he goes, he competes at the absolute top level. A well-known name in the track cycling community across the country, and he comes here to the Grand Prix to do stuff like this. Race in a massively long elimination and then just ride away with it. Zach Kowalczyk, welcome back to Seattle and another win here tonight for you and the Black Lodge Cycling Team. Number 9, in great form, Elliot Crowther with a great race here tonight, manages to pull out a 2nd place in that speedy elimination. We are now about ready to start the Marymoor Crawl, powered by 100% glasses. The Marymoor Crawl will head to turn 4 up along the rail if you are competing today in the crawl. All athletes can grab their bikes and head up to turn 4. Lizanne, I'm not sure that bike is, I know, just teasing you. Let's see it. That might be, what was that, a gearing problem that we were talking about earlier? It'll be fine. It'll be fine. All riders in the Marymoor Crawl, if you want to compete now, bring your gear on over to turn 4 and get lined up for the start. The slowest lap in track racing. That doesn't sound exciting, but it's fun, I promise you. This is a fan favorite invented right here at Marymoor Park all these years ago. Riders, if you're in the Marymoor Crawl, come on over to turn 4. We'll get you started as soon as we see everybody's over here. Make your way on up. All competitors for the crawl to turn 4. Cash on the line for the Marymoor Crawl today to add a little bit more incentive. It's $150 to win today's crawl. 2nd and 3rd both bring in some cash as well. $150 for the winner, $100 for 2nd, and $50 for 3rd place. Last call. Riders to turn 4 if you want to compete. Looks like we got one coming in from the home straight here too. Number 21's making their way over. I should have made the cash announcement earlier, apparently. And here we go. Look at them move. They're so fast. Wait a second. What's going on here? Guys, the race started. Time to go. Oh, wait. Okay, that's right. The crawl. Riders cannot cross the finish line until the bell rings. They are stuck behind it on their bikes. Upright. They must use the power of that fixed gear to stay upright and behind the finish line. They cannot lean on each other on the rail. They can't put their foot down on the ground. They must stay upright under their own power until the bell rings, and we don't get to know how long that is.
This is also the only race here where bribery is strictly encouraged. You, sir, how much would it take for you to lose right now?
$200.
If anybody has $200, just right at the finish over there.
That's a good price.
He'll take 20, so if anybody has a 20, we can get one out right now.
Anybody wants to encourage the sellouts, you just bring out the cash over here just beyond the finish line and dangle it.
Would you lose for an ice cream right now?
Absolutely.
We got one for an ice cream.
Oh, dang it. Not for $200 though. Shucks.
How long do you think you could hold this for?
Not entirely sure. I'm
gonna move out of the way then.
Smart move. Self-preservation is important.
I don't know why he's hopping over there. This isn't a pogo competition.
Oh my goodness, look at the bouncing.
Is he allowed to go backwards?
Keep it upright and try not to move backwards. That is part of it. You must keep it moving either for, oh, the line, the time. Oh, nice, the cash reward. At least Lemon gets some extra. Oh, another one down. Another one bites the dust. If only we could play that song right now. The tension's starting to build, quite literally. The build up in the legs. Blazejack coming up the front. Pratis sitting here along the front. Fowler rolling right across the line. Oh, Pratis. Out. Oh, a foot down for Blazejack. Another rider down. So much effort to stay upright. Lizanne Fox says, effort, yeah, right. I know what effort's about. You should have seen me here earlier today. Oh, oh. Another one down. Not many left now. Always proud, though. There's got to be a junior in the field. I see JC.
All right, so if you won the cash prize tonight, what would you do with it?
Buy more bike parts.
That is every racer's answer every time.
That's good commitment right there.
Beer and bike parts, depending on the age.
Yes, yes. Oh, look out for the mama bear starting to reposition a little bit here. Oh, couple coming up to the front. Is the bell going to ring? Still no sound. Is it coming? Not yet. Oh, geez. If the bell rings right now, there's about 3 riders really mad at Lingwood. Jeez. That's quite the bike stand right here. Oh, what's going on? The gorilla, look out! The gorilla's coming! What is this? Run! If you're going to get caught by the man in the gorilla suit. What is this? Who sent the gorilla after the riders? Put him back in his cage. He's not supposed to come out for anything. The race is underway. The top 3 spots at the line. It's just 1 to go, and it's going to be over before you know it. Cash at the line, and look at the breakaway effort here. First to the line around the corner. Here we go for the big prize. Tyler Davies, your rider out of British Columbia, number 2. Aaron Young across the line for the second place finish. Oh, yeah, ka-ching. $100 for the second place, too. That's not so bad. Wow. Good times. The Marymoor Crawl, always a good time. Our next crew coming up now to the rail. It's time for the John Duggan Masters Cat 3 points race. Our Masters and Cat 3 riders into the big field coming up here for a 30-lap points race, folks. More great racing coming up here, a 6x5 format. We'll talk about the points race while the riders are in the neutral so you know the rules if you've not seen one before. Off into the neutral we go. 30 laps on the card, starting out turn 4 overall together. It's a 6x5 points race for the Masters and Cat 3 combined field. Points racing and a mechanical. Points racing is about winning several sprints, not just one. Every time the bell rings, for the first 4 riders across the line gets points. It goes 5 to the first rider, 3 to the second, 2 to the third, and 4 to the fourth. 1 point to the fourth rider. That's a mouthful. First 4 across the line will get points on those special laps. How do you know what those are? In a 6x5, that's going to be 6 sprints every 5 laps. So the bell rings every 5 laps for those points. Rider with the most number of points at the end wins. Points are doubled on the final lap, 10, 6, 4, and 2. Riders that are lapped by the field lose 20 points. Riders that lap the field gain 20. And racing's underway. 30 to go. First lap now underway in the John Duggan Masters Cat 3 points race, 6x5. And it's now getting underway. Already a bit of snap here in the group as we've got a break of 7 riders already establishing dominant position. So all the points in the first sprint could be in this group. Maybe none available to any of the riders behind. As this is a pretty strong effort here from this group of 7, although already a few trying to jump their way up. I see at least one familiar face there. Scott Grinsel trying to work his way between the field and the lead group, forcing more of the riders in the field to respond to the acceleration. 28 to go. Gavin Newman on the front for a moment gives way for Lawson number 75, who's really powering the bike here. Strong effort himself, trying to make this thing fast early on. .27 to go. Lynch back at the front. Justin Pyre for Keller Rohrbach Racing takes a short turn for himself. The field basically strung out now, so the brake caught everybody in single line formation all the way to the back of the group. First bell coming up here. This is a quick first 4 laps, almost wrapped up. Ben Flom on the front. Bell's ringing. First points next time. 5-3, 2-1 to the leaders. Another reminder to not cross the track during racing, including photographers and non-race staff. The only folks that should be crossing the track, you occasionally see officials or our racing staff do so. Thank you for your compliance and help. The sprint is underway. Grinsel's made his way all the way to here at the front for Dyna Racing. He'll pick up the 5. Whoa, almost got beat by Hers. I think Hers gets 3. We'll get the official order here in a bit. Your leader after the first sprint is Scott Grinsel, number 81. Matty Hers in second with 3. Dylan Lawson, number 75, in third with 2 points. Ben Flom in the orange and blue, number 25, has 1 point, currently in fourth. Your early leaders fall back into the field a bit and reposition themselves after the first effort. It's a long race, not surprised by that maneuver. Still plenty more racing to go. Saw an early bit of aggression from the field, came back together. A good sprint out of the group there for our first leaders. Now we are in a second sprint at 21 to go. David Magidson now moves to the front with a very strong attack here. He finished really strong form from the junior out of the sprint there in the scratch. Was your third place finisher, I believe. And great showing here for the junior, and he'll do another really big acceleration, unchallenged for the 5 as he comes out of turn 4. Jerry Baker Jr. is representing well here tonight with another good position here for Magidson. 5 points for him. Oh, number 95 on the inside I got for 3. Chip Chase, I think, for 2. Indeed, that was the right order with Magidson getting the 5. Sherfy getting 3 points, number 95 in the last sprint. Getting 2 was Chip Chase, number 17. And getting 1 more, Maddie Hers, number 4. Your current leaders, Grinsell and Magidson, both with 5 points after 2 sprints. In a tie for first with Maddie Hers sitting in third for 4. We have Sherfy with 3, Lawson and Chip Chase with 2, and Flom with 1. Those points totals unofficial. At 18 to go, Fowler, another one of the Jerry Baker Juniors, wants to do some damage here. And he's got help from Andrew Lynch, the rider for Gene Johnson Cycling. 2 riders breaking away in great fashion here, leaving the field in the dust. Nice solid effort here for these 2 riders. This could be a great moment for the 2 if they could team up and find some consistency in this kind of effort. This could spell a lot of points here for these 2 athletes. Getting some help from the grandstands. I know this is an impressive effort for these 2. A long call there on Lynch. That's Frigo, number 87, the rider for Gene Johnson Cycling in all blue, along with Fowler. Looking back to the field, we notice a bit of acceleration from a group of 3 starting to pop away from the group. Found Cycling in the catch, trying to get up there. Colin Stotts is trying to catch these guys. 16 to go. More help from the home crowd as Frigo and Fowler in the right position, but they're starting to lose tempo here. And Colin Stotts does some serious work to bring this thing back together again. Ben Flom's going to do the rest of the work. I think they're going to catch on the back straight. And then here comes a big jump from Lawson. Number 75 wants to be the big 5. He'll be able to do so here as he looks to be unchallenged coming into turn 3. Your breakaway riders are caught in surprising fashion. You'd think that they were in such good position, but not with the riders and the numbers they had behind them. At 15 to go, we've got 5 points for Lawson. His first time to Seattle and his first 5 points tonight. Tanaka, number 60, gets 3. Flom for 2. And there's Lynch, number 80, picking up 1. I have your leader alone with 7 points right now, and it's Dylan Lawson, number 75. Ahead of 2 riders with 5 apiece, Grinsell and Magidson currently tied for second. That puts Hers back now into 4th place alone with 4 points. A couple riders with 3 is Flom, Tanaka, Sherfy, Chip Chase with 2, and Lynch, I believe, with 1 gives us all the riders with points. Those points totals do seem to appear to match the official record as it stands right now. The riders just saw 13 to go. A couple more sprints remain in this points race. The Bell Lab Cycleworks team rider Dylan Lawson, number 75, currently your leader. He's got the colorful shoe guards on down there in the sprinters lane, about 6 riders back, kind of a neon pink color with the white helmet and the light blue jersey. Number 75, your leader, just by 2 points though. Also riding that beautiful pink bike there. Again, 5 wheels back from the lead. Currently with only a 2-point lead, though, over the chasing riders behind him, just with a 2-point advantage over Grinsel and Magidson. This race is still wide open, though. Nobody has really won enough of these sprints back-to-back. There's nobody who's built up a nice, healthy lead yet. This could be anybody's race. In fact, if things were to end right now, the finishing sprint could be a whole new rider who had no points going. It could just suddenly be your winner. So we'll see here what happens at this stage, if anybody can find a repeat victory in one of these sprints and start building up some sort of lead. Red Truck Racing come to the front, though, with their first time to look for points is David Miller, currently not on the scoreboard yet. Here comes your race leader, though, starting to accelerate. Look at the good move there from Lawson. About 5 wheels back. He'll make a big jump again. This is a great time for this rider to start making some real noise here. The Atlanta competitor showing up strong here. Another nice jump, this time for 5 again. Oh, Magidson for 3. I got Lacey on the inside for 2 and Tanaka for 1. Dylan Lawson, number 75, picks up 5 points again, back and back. That's what I'm talking about. Nobody had yet found the front of the field more than once. So we finally have someone with some points here. 12 points for Lawson, a nice lead for him, is your current leader, number 75. Trailing behind him with 8 points is Magidson, currently sitting alone at second. And if one rider at 5 is Scott Grinsel, and after that, it's a couple riders with 4, Tanaka and Hers. The rest of the points look pretty similar here to what we had before, with Tyra Lacey being the next rider to gain some points. His first now sits with 2. You have a break of 3 coming out of turn 2 now onto the back straight. Justin Pryor currently on the lead of the lap with these 2. Looking very smooth here and trying to set themselves up for this bell that's upcoming. As they come on the home straight, they'll get the sound for the next sprint here. And there's your bell. Points next lap for the breakaway. Good move here at the end of the race. Tanaka joins in with Hofer and Pryor to make a group of 3 that's being very opportunistic here. Hoping to maybe get the big points here and maybe even at the finish. Number 74 from the field trying to catch back on is Ia Tutski, the rider in the orange. Not going to be able to catch here, but a nice effort now again from Magidson in the bridging effort behind the leaders. Your leaders fighting for points may not actually look like they're going to fight here, as they're thinking they can work together to the benefit of the group. Pryor gets the nod for the 5, Tanaka 3, 2 points for Hofer, and the junior Magidson gets 1, but he's aiming for a higher prize. He wants to get up to the lead group. Getting some help here as that breakaway group is in this great position to end this race well ahead of the rest of the field. They just saw 4 to go. Your leader in the race is back in the main field. Left out of the break here, so with 12 points, he's feeling the pressure. In fact, there he is now at the front of the field. Number 75 trying to push the pace. He's up and out of the saddle saying, I got to go, go, go if I want to hold on to this race. So he's trying to encourage this field to catch. He does a lot of work to accelerate things. The catch now includes 4. We see them on the home straight, seeing 3 to go. Grinsel kind of in between the rider in gray there, number 81, trying to get back up to the front. The field seeing 3 to go. That's Captis and Lynch sitting at the front, not doing the work to really catch. Your race leader not happy with that. Our front group of 4 over in turn 3 has got Pryor, Hofer, Tanaka, and Magidson. The junior makes the big jump all the way up to the front, the big 10 on the line. This could be a great move for Magidson as he comes in second overall into this sprint at the end here. Might he be able to win this thing off of this move? Be very impressive for the Jerry Baker Jr. to pull this off here tonight. But he's got a good group of strong riders with him at 2 to go, and the field's starting to pick up a little bit of pace. We look back to Grinsell still in the bridge between the field and the leaders. Kind of just on his own there, doing the hard work, and behind him, Ben Flom leading the field out a little bit. Starting to close down the gap just a little. Is it close enough, though? Lawson's certainly hoping so. As you can see, our current race leader starting to already reposition himself a bit in this field. The bell's going. It's 1 to go. 1 to go. Number 94 in this group is certainly hoping for a good result. He's in great position, and he already has some good points. He just needs to finish well in this sprint and hope that the field doesn't catch him. But here comes the field. Kenny Williams starting to bring up this group. It's got Lawson and it's got Hers in it. It's got some damage going to be coming here out of this group. Can they come around? It looks like they'll be able to catch. Here comes Hers. Good acceleration by number 4. He was sitting in this race for a long time. He'll take the last sprint, though. A big 10 points for Hers. And second to the line will be your race leader. Find 6 more. Number 75 will be your winner with 6 more points. He didn't win the last sprint, but he did enough. He followed the lead there of number 4 and found 6 more points. Good for 18 at the end, and that should be your winner, number 75. After the whole 30 laps is done, that should do it. I think number 75 wants to come by and say hi real quick. I see it's his first time visiting here to Seattle. Coming in here as our Atlanta competitor. How about another quick round of applause here for the champion in our points race tonight. A great showing. Welcome to Seattle. Great racing here for Lawson tonight. Number 75 with a great finish. Able to get some points in that critical final lap. The Vision Tech Elite Open Women 5 mile scratch is invited to the rail. There's some cash on the line for winning this race. We already know that. We also keep the record books open for the 5 mile for the Elite Women, and that means that we've got a record that could be broken. It's important to include that not only do we have a cash prize for breaking a record, we have an additional donation if the record's broken for the first rider across the line on that lap. That will total $400 cash if we can set a record tonight for the winner. That's a big prize on the line if we can find that tonight. So I want to make sure that that's heard. Again, if we can find the record pace for the 5 mile, the winner of the race gets the win on the cash prize for the race, as well as the record break, an extra $100 thrown in, make it $400 cash. Two preems during the race for the Elite Women. I've got a $100 cash preem that I'll ring the bell for, and a $50 cash preem thanks to the preem bucket earlier. Money coming out the way of our athletes tonight. Money means speed, folks. That's what we do around here. We got to encourage the athletic talent to come in here to Redmond and throw down at the Velodrome. Currently in the neutral, the Vision Tech Elite Open Women 5 mile scratch, a 20-lap race in the neutral. We'll start them out of turn 4 if they're all together. That's right. We have a record book here at the Velodrome, and great excitement if we could see that broken today. One of our fans putting in an extra $100 to try to break the record. Down on the field, we got Chase standing by with the one, the only, Tyler Davies. I'm going to send it down to our team down there to talk to our out-of-towner, although I feel like he's part of the family of the Velodrome. Come on now. Let's hear from our friends down here.
All right, so let's give a big round of applause to Tyler for that fantastic crawl. So crawl is one of our very many unique races here at the Velodrome, and because it is super unique, is there anything special strategy-wise you do for this, or do you just go in and hope for the best?
I usually try to stay at the back for the longest, because I wouldn't say I'm the best track center, but I did get to the front pretty early, and then I had to kind of hold my position for a good 3 minutes, and then luckily I didn't fall over.
I'd say it paid off pretty well. Did you at any point notice that there was a gorilla chasing you?
I felt something in my presence, and then I saw the video after, and it made all sense.
Would your strategy have been different if you'd known at the end you were going to be chased by a gorilla?
Yeah, I would have expected it to give me a Madison sling.
All right, thank you so much. Another round of applause for Tyler, everybody.
You're winning the Marymoor Crawl. Congrats, Tyler. Well done here today. 20 laps on the cards. When we started this race, already going now as we're a few laps in here, and the riders are going to be not only fighting over the win, but we've got 2 preems going their way, so we'll hear the ring of the bell from up here on the deck twice during the race, and the winner on the next lap will pick up the cash prizes. In addition to that, we've got a scratch race going on here. So at the end, we'll get the bell at 1 to go. Fastest rider on the end is your winner. If the record time is broke for the Velodrome here, if we manage to overtake that record pace, the rider at the front of the field that breaks that record officially will also be awarded an extra $200 cash, double down on their cash here for this race.
Get away from the drinks and chatter. Haven't said a word, but it doesn't matter. Feel the air get thinner. Standing in a blurry dream. No one else can see her. Live your life within the moment. And don't go wait until the morning. You never know when it is over. All that I know is we'll get older. So let us dance this side away.
Our race underway here. A little bit of a solo effort here from Claire Law for the Breakfast Racing team. A strong talent known in many different disciplines of racing. Made a good splash here last year during the end of our season. Has made another good showing over here in 2023. Strong Seattle talent here. Claire Law putting on a bit of a solo break effort, but now the catch starting to come together as the rest of the riders start scrambling their way up to her. Really strung out here in the early goings of the race. There's lots of power here coming from the front, 15 to go. Looking nice and arrow here, number 124 leading the field down the home straight is Jordan Lothrop. Now starting to form a bit of a group of 5, trying to be a little bit of that elite front just for the moment as Jenna Lingwood says, I'm part of this group too, and starts to bring it back together, closing down that gap as fast as she can. Makes it sort of a group of 10 and a small snap as we got a few trailing riders trying to stay with the field now. And I got $50 to lead the lap here. $50 to lead the lap right here. $50 to lead the lap. First rider across the line next time picks up the 50. It's Claire Law on the front of the field still. Annette Williams sitting in second wheel, and there's Danny Scoville. Your winner back from the Keirin, it looks like Kimberly Chen for triple shot is sitting in fourth wheel spot. Now a bit of a move at the blue line, starting to come up to the front. Way back from the middle of the group, the $50 encouraging a bit of a solo move here. Uncontested coming on the home straight. What will the rider do with this move? Nice acceleration for Jessica Law, number 112 for the United Velo Racing Team, picks up the 50. Law still off the front after picking up the $50. Maybe not quite enough cash to encourage the riders to go for it just yet. As a lot of riders kind of sitting in on the field, let that one kind of get away from them. But Jessica's still in the front position at 12 to go, and $50 richer, feeling a little bit of encouragement to go fast here in the middle of the race. Lingwood has all the encouragement she needs to try to go catch. A little rotation here at the front. A lot of riders taking their turn to lead the race. Good acceleration at the first half of the race. We've now made that halfway mark. Your lead group coming onto the home straight now. We'll be seeing 10 to go. All together in turn 2. Our field rotating around quickly. That was Danny Scoville at the front there for a moment. There again. Your rider from the Keirin, our winner there, number 113, Kimberly Chen. We saw what she was capable of in that event. Great acceleration. If this comes down to a bunch sprint with this sort of moderate tempo we're seeing at this phase, she's certainly one to watch in the group. As she put on one heck of a show on that Keirin, the great finish. Hillary Luther, number 117, has come up a few times this weekend, or this year, pardon me, for weekend racing. The Portland rider has put on some good finishes here this year, and this is a good event for her as well as the group stays together. She's got good speed out of the group. Darlene at the front. Seeing 8 to go, Luther back at the front and really driving the pace here strong as they make it past the halfway point. There again is Lothrop, number 124, another out-of-towner competitor that hasn't had a whole lot of racing yet today. Her legs are fresh and she's ready to throw down here. Interesting to see what Jordan can do, number 124. She's near the front with that red helmet on. Couple of riders get caught on the lap. They're back in the group, but they are counted down the lap as they are brought back in at 7 to go. All of our starters back together again. With 7 laps remaining, hesitation from the group. Jessica Law, your winner of the first preem at the front, gives way for Heather Nielsen, who takes over down the sprinter's lane now. Rider for Center Cycle is another one of our Seattle area riders who comes here weekly. Kelly Darlene takes over at the front for a moment. Now Claire Law back to the beginning of the race here. We're all together. How about we give $100 to lead the lap? $100 to lead the lap. $100 to lead the lap. At 6 to go, we're going to get next time around at 5 laps remaining. We're going to throw an extra $100 cash preem and see what our riders can do with it. Down the back straight, it's Heather Nielsen that does still hold the lead spot. Lothrop right on her wheel, waiting to make the jump. You got the rider, 102, Jennifer Girth for Fluvox Crit Nasty, also in a great position. Here comes Lothrop now, waiting to see what she's got today, and that's the kind of move I expect to see. A nice move for 124. She's got Chris Nasty rider, right behind her. Can these two start to make a bit of a breakaway? They just might be able to do so. The field giving a little bit of space now. That wasn't a very long effort. They could maybe try to continue the momentum. Although it does kind of look like to me, Jennifer Girth kind of was thinking about abandoning this effort, wasn't fully committed. Noticing this might be an opportunity though, decides to try to re-accelerate things and join in with Lothrop here off the front. 2 riders up the front, forcing a response now. I'm going to look for someone like Claire Law to come to the front. She does. She says, I got to pull this thing back together again. It's 4 to go. Claire Law leading out the charge to try to keep the race together. Lothrop may not have enough power left here in the legs to keep this thing apart into 2 pieces, and she'll both sit up at the blue line, and they'll allow this thing to come back together again. They will be seeing 3 to go. The Vision Tech Elite Open Women, the Vision Tech Elite Open Women 5-mile scratch. 20 laps in total, coming down here to the very end, coming all together, 3 to go. A wide open track, and Kelly Darlene's going to try to use it. Feeling fresh and strong right now, our local rider. Opening it up nicely here out of turn 2. She's just dancing on the pedals. She gets some dance partners though, and with that she says, all right, I was just joking, let's reset this thing again at the rail. Back up they all swing as they wait for the sound of the bell or the next attack. A 2 to go. 2 to go. Who's coming up to the front next here? You see Rutomko taking over the lead spot down in the sprinter's lane. As the whole field is kind of holding on their breath here, the anticipation's starting to build. Now you can watch the positioning as riders are going to try to find their lane, find their wheel, and find the position. Watch up along the Stanley sign there. You can see a little bit of a lineup of riders behind Hillary Luther, the rider in pink. Look out for them to position themselves here. And we've got ourselves the big sprint. It's 1 to go, the final lap. 1 to go. Again, watch 117 and the riders behind her. Are they going to be able to move themselves all the way around the outside? They were gunning to try to find a way to reposition over the top of this whole field, trying to work their way up there. Now the lead change, moving back over to Lothrop. Number 124 takes over. Here comes Scoville. Always good in one of these bunch sprint formats. Number 101 for the Jerry Baker Juniors trying to take it on. Here comes Lingwood down at the blue line, trying to make a run at it. Oh, here they come to the finish. Lingwood at the blue line. Lingwood. Oh, it'll be just enough. Lingwood this time just barely besting Chen, who made a great acceleration. We saw what she could do in the Keirin, but this time Lingwood with a little bit more finishing power. Team Mama Bears will find the victory there in the scratch. To the rail now, your next race. It is time for the Sound Transit Elite Men Points Race. 16 by 5, 80 lap contest here at the Grand Prix. We got ourselves another massive field here getting ready to start on this massive race. 80 laps on the cards. Remember the points race we saw a bit ago. The same rules apply. 5, 3, 2, and 1 to the leaders on this points laps. Double the points on the final lap. Rider with the most number of points at the end is your winner. Lapped by the field, you lose 20. You lap the field, you gain 20. In this long of a race, not surprised to see both of those things come into play as we are set to start here shortly with the points race. Hope you're enjoying your evening. The food trucks are still here. The beverage garden's still pouring. It's a beautiful night. Thank you for joining us again here. We're just making sure our field is all reported and ready to start racing. And off for the neutral we go. 80 laps on the cards. We'll start them on turn 4 if they're still together, and we can get this points race thing underway. And racing is underway, 80 to go. First bell at 76 laps remaining. And Jay Delaney, the rider, to start this thing off on this first lap. Looks like we still have a few of the reusable pint cups over here in the beverage garden. Come on, join us over there for the fun. Our good friends at Postdoc Brewing just outside of the Velodrome area here. We're next to the park. And of course, Locust Cider is another local product here of the greater Seattle area. First tasting room up in Woodinville. The founders of that fine company, also with connections here to our Velodrome. Our thanks to both Locust Ciders and Postdoc Brewing for supporting us this year, and to Stanley for helping us with our usable cups in the beverage garden. Thanks to the donors providing the beverages. Your purchases are essentially donations right back into the Velodrome. So imbibe and know that your purchases are helping racing and our program sustain for years to come. Speaking of years to come, if you want to find a way to help and support the track beyond just being here and helping out the races go around in circles and making noise, we also have an off-season fundraiser that we do. We are run by a non-profit organization called the Marymoor Velodrome Association that raises money through the donations of its members, through membership purchases by our riders, and of course, by the generosity of the Redmond and larger Seattle community. If you want to help us raise some money, I can certainly help get you in touch with the right people. You can always check out velodrome.org and look at opportunities to donate or help with our programs. The Vision Grand Prix and all the other great racing that we do here in Redmond, Washington would not be possible without you all stepping up big time as you've done year after year. Thank you for supporting the Marymoor Velodrome Association and the Jerry Baker Memorial Velodrome. 77 laps to go. The next time around, we're going to get the first bell and we can really start this thing in earnest. An early taker here between two riders now, starting to try to pull this thing away. Bell will be ringing soon. I recognize the colors of Found Cycling Guild and the rider Chris Wilson, the second rider in this lineup. Waterline Racing at 76 to go. He's got Tyler Arnoldi, number 15, off the front. These two trying to break things well ahead of the group. Already got a 100-meter advantage on the track right now ahead of the rest of the field. Not a lot of respect being shown here for Wilson and Arnoldi as they're being allowed to kind of roll with this, and Wilson wanting to be a bit greedy here. He's going to go for the points. He'll take 5. Arnoldi gets 3. Max. I knew that was Max. Max Haggard working alongside, and the sprint here for 2 is Baker. I got number 21 for 1. Haggard and Wilson's working together here has still opened up this big gap. The field has allowed more space than I expected them to this early in the race. And this is a good time for us to take a break from the announcing of the points here. We're going to go down on the field and check in with Chase and who she's got for the interview. Chase.
All right, so this is our lovely friend Dylan from all the way across the country, and he is our winner tonight for the Masters Cat 3 points race. Let's hear it for Dylan. All right, so can you tell us a little bit about how points race strategy differs from just sprinting, because you have to do so many in a row?
It's kind of all about getting into the wind when you need to and being able to hide when you need to. So a lot of that race, I was able to kind of float around top 5, top 10, but not really put my head out in the wind, and only put my head out in the wind for the points.
Nice, and tell us a little bit about like where you're from and your home track and what you enjoy doing out here.
Yeah, so I'm from Atlanta, Georgia. Our home track is Dick Lane Velodrome. It is a very unique little track. It's very bumpy, and it's awkward length. It's 324. It's 5 laps to the mile, built in the South in the 70s. So it's got a lot of character. And then, yeah, just love going fast. I come from like pro crit racing and that kind of stuff, and this is a little bit more simple. You don't have to worry about changing gears. You don't have to worry about braking. You don't have to worry about turning. You just go fast and put your head in the wind.
Go fast, turn left. It's our favorite thing to do. All right, thank you so much. Let's hear it for Dylan again, everybody.
Our two leaders have been away during the interview, and they've kind of stayed in a similar position. Now Haggard is going to take back the 5 points he gave up to Wilson earlier as he continues on the solo effort. I got to say from here, Tyler, he does look kind of similar in the bike to you in his position. At least got to give me that much. As Haggard continuing to do a really impressive effort here. We'll pick up 5 this time. Giving him the lead at 8 points now. Here comes Crowther for 3 points on that sprint. We'll get the points totals updates shortly. Your leader after 2 sprints. Again, number 15, Max Haggard off the front. We got a rider with 5 points. Number 7, Chris Wilson. Not able to get more in that last sprint. He gets caught by the rest of the field. Is number 43 flying up. Has 3 points now. But your leader again, Haggard for Waterline Racing, gets caught by the group. Now he's back into the field, number 15. But your early leader with a nice strong breakaway effort. Now another attack here. We see number 25, Red Truck Racing, launching their own move. Coming up next, the wheel race. The starts for that have been posted, and of course, you will need to bring holders for the wheel race. There's a lot of riders. You'll need to bring a holder with you in order to make that work. At 66 to go, points next lap. Good sprint here for the points again. Whoa. All right, here we go. Number 35 coming across the line first. Krausler second. There's Kovalchuk for 2. All right, I believe I have the update for our official points here coming in just a moment, as I have to kind of work across 2 sheets here, but I will get the announcement by bib number here. Number 15 with 8 points, your leader. Number 43 and 35 in second, both with 6 points. Number 7 with 5 points in fourth. 3 riders with 2 points apiece. Bib 3, number 53 and number 9. Number 21 and number 50, both with 1 point currently. Another sprint for points underway here. And it looks like our rider from Waterline Racing pulling away again for some points as Haggard finds 5, Miller for 3, Kovalchuk for 2, and that was Chris Wilson for 1. Your current unofficial points totals. Your leader, Max Haggard, number 15, 13 points. In second place, I have 3 riders, all with 6. Elliot Crowther, Jacob Schwingboth, and Chris Wilson. 4 points is good for 5th place overall right now for Zach Volchek, number 9. So a good strong start here for Max Haggard, number 15 for the Waterline Racing team. Now we have another break between 2 riders. That's number 46, Karen Fitzmaurice. I see Elliot Crowther, number 43, also in the blue out there in front. 2 riders in the breakaway. The field scrambling to try to catch back on. Your leader, though, number 15, back in the middle of the field right now, has been very active on the front here. Warning to rider number 25, Dan Frazier-Moran, for forcing a rider down on the track. Officials warning to number 25, forcing rider down track. Bell ringing, 56 to go. That's Fitzmaurice again at the front. I see number 46 resets the tempo here as the bell's ringing. The field starting to scramble back up to the leaders, and now it's all single file behind them, and the catch underneath. Sandoval takes over the lead spot. Whoa, Red Truck Racing again. No change in the lead just yet. Max Haggard still leads with 13 points. Might call unofficial. Your second place, though, now Zach Volchek moving his way up. He notches a few more, bringing his total up to 9. Good for second. I still have Chris Wilson with 6, Elliot Crowther with 6, Jacob Stringboth with 6. All currently good for a tie in third place unofficially. Number 50 being relegated from the previous sprint for passing underneath on the blue line. Number 50 was relegated in the previous sprint for passing underneath on the blue line, resulting in Kovalchuk getting the 5, number 33 getting 3, number 1 getting 2, and number 3 getting 1 point. Again, relegation to number 50 made official for passing underneath on the blue line. Now we have a sprint underway again. So fast and furious here, so quick. You think 5 laps, you have plenty of time to think and process what's already happened, but it's barely enough time to think about where the leaders are. Here comes Red Truck Racing, number 50 again. Kovalchuk's right in his wheel. Crowther also following suit. And McCulp looks to be on their wheel and pick up the 1 point that time. I unofficially have the following numbers now, with Max Haggard still in the lead by 1 with 13. 1 point trailing to Zach Kovalchuk now. In second place with 12 points is number 9 in the black for Black Lodge Cycling. Look out for Zach Kowalczyk in this race. He's going to continue to earn points here as we go along. With 8 points now, Elliot Crowther sitting in third. That's number 43, the rider in blue. Campbell Parrish moves up with 6 points now in a tie with Jacob Swingboth and Chris Wilson, all fighting in for top 5 spots currently. A couple of the red truck racers moving off the front as we see here. Your leader in position at 47 to go is Max Haggard, still leading by a single point, goes for a very risky, very big move here. It's John Bowie and 2 riders from the red truck racing team. That's both number 25, Fraser Moran, and number 50, Parrish, working together with Bowie, making it soon to be a group of 4. Chasing the lead rider right now on the track is Max Haggard's trying to take back his lead a little stronger here. He still has it by a single point. See if he can find the victory here and find 5 points and continue to defend his position on this leaderboard. Bell rings again for some more points. Haggard, so impressive here tonight. Great efforts from him. He continues to play these really big sort of moves off the front. Lots of effort being spent here to just get away from the field and not sprint against them. Well played here by Haggard again. He'll find 5 in the middle of the race and see what he can do with this position that he's got himself into. He'll sit up and let at least the chasing riders catch. Here comes Campbell. Excuse me, that would be Parrish coming in for the 3. Haggard builds on his lead, picks up 5 in that last sprint, bringing him up to 18 as my unofficial points totals for Haggard, your continuing leader. Kowalczyk still in second with 12. Knocking on the door now is Campbell Parrish with 9, sitting in third. 8 points still to Crowther is good for 4th. A couple riders with 6 fighting over 5th place right now. Next bell at 41 to go. .42 to go, 2 riders off the front. Coming into the bell. The riders coming to the home straight now are off the back of the group. Your leader is rounding through turn 4 now, coming onto the home straight. Now about to get the bell. Points next time. Here's Fitzmaurice, number 46. And that's number 30, Daniel Brewer from the Cheney Windows and Doors team. Breaking away here. Fitzmaurice and Brewer looking like they'll pick up the points here in a sort of cooperative fashion. 5 for Fitzmaurice and 3 for Brewer. 2 for Crowther and 1 for Kowalczyk. Fitzmaurice's first points of the race so far. Still has a ways, number 46 does, if he wants to be in the top of the race, but he does find good points there. Brewer, also the rider that came with him, number 30, just picking up his first points now. But we get to the point now where it's half of the race down. This is a long one. This is where the endurance is really going to start playing into it. And you can see these two still looking very smooth. And this might be the moment where we start to see this become pretty broken apart between the field and a lead group. Your leader is still Max Haggard, number 15 for Waterline Racing. Has 18 points, but he's not in this break group of 4 right now, nor in the bridging effort of number 9 and number 1. He's back in the field. He was up near the front, though, trying to get close to that break as Kovalchuk somewhere in the bridging effort, the rider in the black, just in front of the field. He's being left out of this group of 4 right now, the rider currently in second. But you know who else up here is, looks like Crowther made the jump. And he's got good points, number 43 does, as they get the bell. He has 10, currently in the top 3 spot. The leader's getting caught here. Who's coming up there? Is that Haggard making a jump up? It might be. This is Haggard's race right now tonight. He comes all the way up to the front. He takes over the leaders. Flying into the blue line. Haggard for 5. Fitzmaurice for 3. Wheel race holders, reminder, bring your wheel race holders, and of course the podiums at the very end. Podiums at the very end tonight. Max Haggard still in the lead. That impressive bridging sprint in the last one is good for a total of now 24 for number 15, your leader. Next closest still remains Kovalchuk with 13 points. I now have Elliot Crowther at 11 in third place, pardon me. Campbell Parrish in fourth with 9. Fitzmaurice, I believe, in fifth with 8 points now. Here's my points totals as last announced do match the official record. So we're on track still and doing okay here at 31 laps to go. Bunching back up again. There's your race leader down the sprinter's lane right now, number 15. Not looking to make too much of a splash here, maybe allowing someone else to make some damage here. He's got an 11-point cushion right now, so 15 doesn't have to be in every single sprint to stay in the lead, but he will jump back up here again. He's near the front. He might as well try to take advantage of the opportunity to go for it. Red Truck Racing will challenge here. Coming around the corner, it looks like your rider in white with red for Red Truck Racing makes a good move at it. Here comes the other rider from Waterline, Fitzmaurice for 5. Campbell Parrish for 3. That's John Bowie for 2. Haggard still your leader after that previous sprint. Not able to get points, but still sitting at 23. A tie in second now between Kovalchek and Fitzmaurice. Kovalchek for Black Lodge Cycling number 9 with 13. Fitzmaurice in the Waterline Racing Kit number 46, also with 13. I got a rider for 12 is Campbell Parrish for the Red Truck Racing Team, number 50, currently in 4th. 1 point back is Elliot Crowther, the rider in blue, number 43. Your top 5 pretty close right now. The only rider with a bit of a separation for himself is Haggard. I mean, it's a bit of a time to recover after that last attempt to sprint again. Not rewarded with points, though. So he'll go back into the field. In fact, he's near the back end of it now, trying to catch his breath and get ready for the next effort. At 26 to go, we will get a bell shortly as we got a bit of a snap of 3 off the front here. In good position to fight for more points here next time around. 57 finds the way to the front for the first time. It's Johannes Malley, Lost Boys Racing Team. There's Dan Brewer, number 30. Chris Wilson's come up here. Whoa, look at this acceleration. We might see a change of the lead here. This group was 3, now becomes a group of 5. Whoa, another re-acceleration from the lead too, though. Here comes Brewer trying to make some noise here for the Cheney Windows team. Number 30 picks up 5. 57 for Lost Boys picks up 3. His teammate right behind him, I think, might have gotten the 2, is either him or Sandoval. Kovalchek on the back end of that was hoping for some points, not sure he got any. The lead remains unchanged. Your top couple positions, no change in the leaderboards for those riders. Most importantly, Dan Brewer making his way. He's getting a little closer to being in a top 5 position after that last sprint. Now has 8 points. We had action from number 35, Jacob Schwingboth, much earlier in the race. He also moves up nicely with 8 points. He's getting close to being in the top 5 conversation. Though now it appears that he's had some kind of an issue and is coming back on as number 35. Schwingboth trying to get back in this thing. The leader race, John Bowie right now, coming into turn 1. The rest of the field right behind him. Thinned down a little bit as we've lost some riders, a few exiting in this long, arduous event, starting with a total of 80 laps in total. But still lots of strength left in the group, and we'll see what else is to come of it. Your leader, number 15's feeling like he's ready to go again. He'll try to slot back into the front of the group as he's worked his way in on this sprint. .21 to go. Points next time. There's your race leader right at the lead of it, waiting for somebody to make the jump first. Number 43 right behind him, Crowther, also near the top of this leaderboard, is that rider in blue. Wilson's got some open track, so he'll take the sprinter's lane from mid back of the group. Always an opportunistic, this rider is. Might as well go for the jump here and see what he can do with it. 4 riders up the front fighting for the points. Whoa. Good fight here for 5. Fitzmaurice looking very smooth. We'll find it that time. That's Culp for 21 gets 3 points. Wilson on the inside gets 2. Kovalchek gets 1. Your race leader remains unchanged. Haggard still with 23 at the top of this thing. We got a break of 4, though. He's in it. Not far away from the field, though. The field's knocking on the door still for this lead group. After your last sprint, not much changing in the overall order just yet. It's still Haggard in lead with 23, as mentioned previously. Fitzmaurice, though, working his way up, has taken over at second place. Now with 18 points over Kovalchuk with 14. Campbell Parrish with 12, sitting in fourth now. Bell's ringing for points. Your break has Haggard, the leader in the race, now trying to lead this thing out of turn 2. Number 50 right on the wheel is trying to work his way into the top 5 conversation with 12 points to his name. Brewer, number 30, right behind them, also trying to get more points later as the race goes on. And a nice jump here for number 50. He's been waiting to get some opportunistic points here. He'll find a challenge between Brewer and himself, though. 50 will find it. Brewer for 3. That's number 33, Ross, for 2 points. It's getting tight here at the top for these athletes that have been fighting over this thing for now more than 65 laps of racing. There's 13 left to go here in this 80-lap contest. Haggard found just 1 point in the last sprint, bringing him up to 24 points. Fitzmaurice still sitting in second. I got him at 18. 17 points to Campbell Parrish. Number 50 for Red Chuck Racing is good for third. Bumping now Zach Kovalchuk, number 9, to 4th place overall. Couple riders with 11 points, I think, are in a tie now for 5th overall as it currently stands. Seeing 12 to go, we'll get a bell next time. Here comes Crowther now. He's been out of the conversation for a bit. We saw his strength earlier in this race. He's coming back again for more. Number 43, currently one of those riders with 11, knocking on a top 3 spot if he can finish strong. Now starting to pull away from the group just a little bit. He's got a good opening here. Might as well see what he can get here, I imagine. Points are going to be in the cards for Elliot Crowther. Bell's ringing, 11 to go. Anyone sprinting at this stage is already showing such immense athleticism. This is a long race here at the track. Such high speed from these riders, and 80 laps of contest. Already going to be now 70 completed as they come around this time. Crowther still on pace. Here comes the charge down from Waterline Racing. It looks like John Bowie's trying to get onto that wheel as quick as he can. Maybe nip the 5 away from Crowther. Onto the home straight they come. Crowther will not find it. It's going to be Fitzmaurice, Bowie. Oh, geez. 33, I think, may have gotten 2 just over Crowther. Still unchanged in the lead, but now I mean, you can't knock on the door any more than just 1 point separating. It's Max Haggard with 24, 1 point behind. Now Cameron Fitzmaurice wearing the same colors. Here goes Haggard saying, nuh-uh. I'm going to try and get this thing back again in my control. Every time someone gets that close, he's got to go. So Haggard off on the solo attack here, trying to get this thing back in his control. In third, I've got for 17 points is Campbell Parrish, number 50 for the Red Truck Racing Team. Kovalchuk still with the 14. Up there pretty good here, but here comes number 15 trying to hold on to the crown he's earned himself so far, trying to stay on top of the competition today. An impressive effort for this athlete. Continues to do these solo attacks that are just impossible for the field to cover, it seems. All out efforts and then back into the field, recover and do it again. I don't think the field's going to let him get the final 10, as he looks like he will be caught after this potentially, but Haggard on his way for 5. He'll find it. Your leader, 5 more. Teammate behind him, Bowie, gets 3. There's Campbell Parrish for 2 points. That should give 29 points to your leader, Max Haggard, after that last sprint. He's still in this race. It is not over yet. One more big sprint to go. Can he hold on to this thing? Number 15 trying to do so, as it's getting awfully close here as rider Cameron Fitzmaurice, his teammate, with 20 now, just trailing not by a lot here. This last sprint going to be very critical. If Max can get even a single point in this last sprint, it's likely going to be his race tonight. Behind Fitzmaurice, number 46, we still have Campbell Parrish for the Red Truck Racing Team. I now have that rider up to 17 points. Ahead of Kovalchuk with 14. And a couple riders still at 11 and 10. But the big story here is, can number 15 get something in this last sprint and absolutely control the victory here? Or is he going to get denied potentially by his teammate Fitzmaurice? We'll see if 15's got enough for one more sprint to try to hold it together and win this massive athletic event here tonight, the 80-lap points race. Coming into the final bell as the field lines it up. We made it, folks. The bell is going to be ringing for 1 to go. It's 1 to go, the last lap. 1 to go. Let's find where's number 15 in this thing. Is he going to be part of it? He's back. So he's got to watch the race in front of him. If Fitzmaurice gets the big 10 here, it might be Fitzmaurice's race. Number 46 going down the back straight is the second real position. Now the sprint coming alongside of him. If it's not Fitzmaurice that wins the sprint, it may be. That's still number 15 ends up in top. Here goes Fitzmaurice. He might be able to snatch the win right here now. Number 46 trying to get it by a point. It'll be Fitzmaurice, your winner, picking up the 10. I got him unofficially on the top of the competition for picking up the final sprint just by 1 over his teammate, Max Haggard. Waterline Racing going 1-2 unofficially with that finish. Wow. 15 was not in that sprint. He just needed 2 points to guarantee it. The only person that could get the win from him, Fitzmaurice, the rider here coming on the home straight, number 46. I got him down as your winner here today. Waterline Racing. Let's make some noise for our champion today in the long points race. Wow. What an event that was. Woo! I'd raise a glass to that if I could. Come join us in the beverage garden. We're still open tonight. Racing's still going on. The party's still thriving here at the Velodrome. We got more coming at you. If you can believe it, we got a wheel race for the Sprint Omnium, the Elite Men, coming up here, followed by the Ryan Triplett Memorial Elite Open Women Madison, our last race of the evening. All wheel race riders stage now. We are setting up to get onto the track. You need holders. Wheel race riders in the sprint omnium for the wheel race. The 4-lap wheel race upcoming. Elite men need holders. Staging now. The wheel race, we take our riders and kind of estimate on their power and their speed. We do our best to try to give the riders we think have the fastest finishing kick, the overall stronger riders, the biggest disadvantage. We put them on the longest part of the lap here, and we put some other riders in front of them. So in 4 laps, we got Bowie and Carlberg back here having to play catch up. Bowie says, I just did 80 laps, man. 4 more, man. 4 more. Last call for the wheel race for staging. Last call to get in position for the wheel race. A 4-lap handicap start here. A quick one upcoming. While we wait for the start here, I know Zach wanted me to get on the mic here and mention his brother John's back here hanging out with us, and he's a Stanley Cup champ, folks, for the Las Vegas Golden Knights. Hanging out here today. He's giving a wave. Congrats to the Las Vegas Golden Knights for their Stanley Cup championship and your part in helping the team here this year. Another successful campaign for. I mean, we were rooting for a different team up here, but you know, I'm still a fan for John, so that's what I'm all about. Couple riders looking for holders. I got one here in turn 1 looking for help. Almost there, almost there. I think we got the helper we need in turn 1 now. Looking for any more needing holders. I know it's been a long night here, folks. Thanks for joining us. There's some of you taking off for the evening. Hope you enjoyed your stay here. We got more racing tomorrow, 6 o'clock start time in the evening. Food trucks in the beverage garden opening up again for more great racing tomorrow, Saturday night, 6 o'clock start. A couple more races here to go tonight. The wheel race almost ready to start, just getting our holders and everybody lined up for the start. And we'll get this thing underway. On deck is the Ryan Triplett Memorial Women Madison. Coming up next. In between turns 1 and 2, we need one more holder. Between turns 1 and 2, we need one more holder. As soon as the holders release your rider off the track immediately, please. All holders will exit the track quickly once releasing your rider. Thank you. I'll give the announcement here for the riders are ready. We'll hear the sound of the gun for the start will be the official start of the race. All right, riders ready. The gun is up. Off we go. 4 to go. The wheel race underway. It's John Bowie and Andrew Carlberg with the longest lap. Everybody else gets the advantage of a better start. Your leader already onto the home straight at 3 to go. The rest of the field trying to scramble their way back up the long catch. Stan Douglas. Is that Miles Morales that came out tonight? Oh my gosh, that's a cool new kit. Stan Douglas leads the lap right now. He's going to try to put in all out effort to win this darn thing. The race is over so quick. Can these riders even get back up? The back is having such a hard time getting there right now as it looks like it's going to be Stan Douglas still on the lead. He opened up a big gap here at the front. He was ready to jump this thing. Here comes Pratis now trying to make the catch down the back straight. Not yet into the bell lap. Some of the riders are catching down the back straight here. Can they continue this effort? This is such a short race to try to catch back on if you're at a disadvantage. Douglas gets caught onto the home straight. Here comes Pratis trying to win the real race now, and the rest of the riders chasing with him. Brandon Russell in great position. Lemin Wright on his wheel. The short sprint coming to an end here. We get to see some new riders at the front. It's going to be Brandon Russell and Lemin Wright opening this thing up nicely down the back straight. Lemin Wright on the wheel of the rider in green. In perfect position here. Can he make the jump over? And Lemin Wright for the shop, trying to make the acceleration onto the home straight. Lemin on a great position here to finish the wheel race. Lemin Wright will take it. All right, folks, here we go. We got one more tonight, and it's a big one. The wheel race making their way off as we're about ready to call our Madison up to the rail as soon as these riders are clearing away. And that'll be our concluding race tonight, as we like to end each night of Grand Prix racing with the Madison. A race you don't get to see very often where riders race in teams of 2. A 6x5 Madison. It'll be run as a points race, but it'll be in teams of 2. We're going to bring those riders out here shortly. I think our last competitor did just come across the finish line. The rail is yours. Open Women Madison to the rail, please. Longtime athlete here at the Velodrome, Jen Triplett. Then married to Ryan Triplett for a number of years, a beautiful marriage, and 2 wonderful athletes in our community. The passing of Ryan Triplett in a climbing accident, doing what he loved best, being outdoors. It was a shock to Jen and to the rest of the community, and that very next year here at the GP, the memorial started. As part of the ongoing remembrance of Ryan, we continue that tradition year after year. Here we are once again, running the Ryan Triplett Memorial Open Elite Women Madison. This year we're running this as a 6x5, just about ready to start here from the rail. We'll let the officials get that thing underway. Our last race of the night, about ready to start. In the Madison, riders ride in groups of 2. Their teammates, either one is in and one's out. And they swap places with a quick hold of the hands and a toss in. You can tell who's on the team based on the jersey they are wearing on the top. They've got matching kits, thanks to our sponsors being able to provide that for us. Vi13, our great jersey partner for a number of years. Great company if you're looking for athletic wear cyclists. Vi13 helping us big time on designing the kits here and getting them ready for our Madisons. And the riders in the race get the signal. Racing underway. Ryan Triplett Memorial underway. 30 to go. One rider's in the race, one's out. The relief rider can position themselves wherever they like. They'll come down track, do that hold of the hand real quick there, and then get the toss in. That's the official signal. They've been swapped for who's in and who's out. Only one rider's position can be counted at a time in the race. A couple of these riders not getting a whole lot of chances to really practice with one another. They just come together for the fun of it. And in a 6x5, the 30-lap event, we are scoring this like a points race. So you'll hear a bell, and on the very next lap, riders come across in order to get 5, 3, 2, and 1. Darlene wearing the red of Team Hi Mom on the lead. Yes, that is an official sponsored jersey, Team Hi Mom. That's for all the moms out there that have been watching the live stream, which we can't run right now thanks to the downage of the T-Mobile tower near here. I confirmed earlier today. My apologies for not being able to provide that service. We'll get it uploaded after racing's done. I do promise that. You will be able to go back and rewatch all the great racing. And if you are doing so right now, thanks for rewatching on YouTube. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe if you're still here watching at this hour. My goodness, it's been a long show. Thanks to our partnerships with Google Grants, we actually just passed 1,500 subscribers today, and we continue to grow and grow. That's been fun to see. Thanks again to all the viewers out there for supporting us and tuning in for the Grand Prix this week. Our team's coming back together again before the first sprint is underway. Points next time. Points next time. In the yellow of the Broadmark team, getting the exchange down the back straight now, although the attack coming looks from Lingwood in the rainbow kit in bib number 1 currently. Team 1 makes the acceleration. That's Lingwood leading out for the first 5. Scoville coming in for Team Red for 3. Whoa, thinking that Williams just enough for 3 there. More points next time. Team Red on the lead as they get the bell. Team High Mom not going to be able to make the exchange before the end of this sprint. It'll be a tough one for Scoville, who's got a long way to go still. Fresh set of legs for Edwards on Team 9. Able to make a nice jump here as Gilchrist tosses in Edwards. And looks like Lingwood's going to try and jump on the wheel and fight for 5 still. Make it Edwards and Lingwood going side by side for this one. And Lingwood, Edwards, Williams, Scoville. It'll go Team 1 across the line first. Elliot Davis has got a message for somebody out there. A certain special somebody. He tells me I got to read this for the girlfriend of his dreams. Tina, if you're out there rewatching this action, Elliot says you're the best right now. So, oh, she's here. Oh, Tina, you're getting the call out. Loves you very much. You're the one and only. The very best. That's a good move, Elliot. I love it. I tried to look it up on the sheet, man. I really did. I was doing my best. All right. It's team number 1 in the lead with 10 points. Both team 8 and number 3 in second with 4. Team 9 with 3 in fourth with 3 points. And I believe the team of Glover and Luther with 1 point, Curley in fifth, team 23. Couple more laps here for the next sprint for points. Again, your leader, bib number 1. The partnering of Lingwood and Alexander. The team in red, Kelly Darlene and Danny Scoville, and the team in yellow, Annette Williams and Jennifer Girth, are working together trying to find the way to beat team 1 right now. So red and yellow both trying to hold on to the speed of the Rainbow Pride kit of number 1. Bells ring again for points. Scoville for the red team leads out the sprint right now. Lingwood in a good position for bib number 1 to try to come around the right side here and pick up the 5 again. But this time it'll be Scoville trying to hold on. It'll be Lingwood, Glover for the pink team, then our red squad followed by yellow. Guess what? We get to do it all again. And guess what? We get up to do it again. The race for second looking very interesting right now as the race for first starting to pull away a bit here for team 1. 15 points for Lingwood and Alexander now in the Rainbow Pride kit. Team 8 and just Team 8 now in second with 6 points. That's the Red High Mom team. 3 teams, the rest of our teams tied with 4 points apiece. Currently all good for third. Will High Mom be able to hold on here for second? Or is someone going to be able to start challenging the Rainbow squad a bit? Darlene on fresh legs trying to make a bit of an attack herself. The rider in red trying to pull away. Hillary Luther racing in the pink. That's the Ravenbrush Studios Kit now coming into view and rounding the corner at the lead. No bell this lap, just trying to make a nice attack here and position herself before likely making the handoff on the back straight to her teammate Glover, who may be the one who has to ride this upcoming sprint. Now the exchange for Glover on the back straight, an important one here before the bell as the rest of the squads are trying to close down on Team Pink. Glover accelerates again and seeing if she can stay away from the chasing riders. 11 to go, another bell. Glover's in for the Ravenbrush Studios Pink team. Bib number 1 for the Rainbow Pride squad is in and trying to hold on to this acceleration. Might be the first time that Team 1 doesn't find 5 points. Rider down in turn 2, rider down in turn 2. Team Yellow will continue to ride alone officially here. Glover gets 5 for Pink. Lingwood gets 3 for Rainbow. Track is clear, the race is still underway right now. Team Red comes across the line next for 2 points. It looks to be 1 point for Team 9. Looked like he got a little bit busy down there at the bottom of the sprinters lane in that previous exchange. The result was Williams hitting the deck, but a pretty slow speed crash. Looks like everybody's still up, and she's up on her feet quickly. We're happy to see that Annette's not still on the ground, so that's a good sign. We're checking in with her to make sure everything's okay, but right now her teammate left out there to fight alone. Your leaders go up now by a few more points. Their total is now 18 to the leaders, Team 1. Team 23 of Luther and Glover still sitting in second now with 9 points. 1 point back to Darlene and Scoville. They have 8. 5 points to Team 9, Edwards and Gilchrist. Team 3 with 4. Seven to go. Glover, the rider in the pink, is the rider in the lead position, but not in the lead of the points, trying to leave the Rainbow team behind. It's Jenna Lingwood starting to close down that gap a bit after the previous exchange, feeling a little bit of acceleration, an opportunity to try to get back up into the lead spot. Bell's ringing, the catch happens here, and as this sprint starts, an exchange for both teams is Luther and Alexander going head-to-head for their respective teams. Team Pink trying to find another 5 here. Alexander will be in position to find 3 points as Luther pulling away. The Ravenbrush Studios Pink team. Team 9 and 3 will be fighting for over the 1 point as they just got the bell a moment ago. Here comes your leader in position, Pink team, for 5 more. Trying to chip away at the lead of the Rainbow squad. Here comes bib number 1, picking up 3 points. Team Red has got 2 more points now. As the leader catches, riders will go down the lap. So Pink team right now is the front group. See how that works, if that'll happen or not. Lucy Gilchrist for Team 9 does pick up 1 point in the sprint. At 4 to go, there's not many laps left, and Team Pink nice and consistent here. Now has Aaron Glover back on the pedals, and Lingwood trying desperately to get back up there on that wheel and make this a 2-team race at the end. They still hold the lead, the Rainbow team does, currently with 21 points. Ravenbrush Studios, Team Pink, starting to close down on that lead a little bit. They have 14 now. 10 to our third place team, Team Red. 3 to go, and Lingwood manages to catch back on. We got 2 riders together here at the front of the race. Both riders probably looking for a bit of a refresh and a reset, as that was a big effort for Lingwood, who tosses in teammate Emily Alexander. Alexander, one of our local riders, working together with one of our Portland competitors, Jenna Lingwood, who makes her way up for many of our big events as this one. Luther versus Alexander. We saw how that turned out last time. Luther with good acceleration, able to pull away a bit here. Can she do so again and maybe set this one up to be a difficult finish? Alexander holding on to the wheel nicely here at 2 to go. Luther trying to accelerate here, getting Team Yellow the catch, who lost her teammate. No surprise that Team Yellow's feeling the hurt right now, as Williams out of the race after the tussle over in turn 2. Your leaders coming onto the home straight now. Team Yellow got caught. Team Pink on the lead of the lap right now, making the exchange for Glover. It's 1 to go. Lingwood looking snappy here, trying to catch during the exchange. If they can get in the wheel, I think Lingwood's got a great opportunity here to overtake and win the race outright on this last sprint. A nice effort for Lingwood, and looks like Team Pride here is going to be able to put on a nice show in a final lap here in the Ryan Triplett Memorial. Glover trying to hold on. Making some noise as the finish here for Lingwood, and Team 1 will do it. Congratulations to our athletes, one and all. A few more finishers as Team Red will do another toss in on turn 3. One of our younger teams, Team High Mom there. Former Jerry Baker Jr., Kelly Darlene, working with current junior Danny Scoville. Red team finishes up 3rd overall. Nice race for the 2 of them. All of our athletes will make their way around and off the backstretch. I think we're going to see our team Rainbow one more time to say hello and congrats to the 2 of them. Again, Emily Alexander, one of our local riders for Liquid Velo, teaming up with speedster Jenna Lingwood for a fun race today. Admirable effort from these 2 working together. And they managed to take the Ryan Triplett Memorial here today. Congrats to Team 1, Alexander and Lingwood. And that just about does it, folks. Thank you again. What a fun night this has been. We're going to do some podiums for our riders here shortly. I'm going to get myself organized for that. The main racing event is all wrapped up. So if you're taking off for tonight, thank you for sticking around for the fun this evening. The beverage garden's still open and pouring. We'll be shutting down shop here pretty shortly, but feel free to stick around and enjoy a little bit of celebration with us. More racing tomorrow. We start at 6. A little bit more time for your evening. Maybe have enough time to hang out with us a little bit longer tomorrow. Thanks again for making your way out to the Velodrome. We'll start the podiums here shortly. Thank you. We're giving podiums in order of our program, which means we're starting with the Elite Open Women Keirin, followed by the Broadmark Masters Cat 3 Sprints and the Broadmark Elite Men Sprints. Will be our first 3 races. Those riders on the top of the podium can prepare for the podiums here. We're going to call you to the podium area. Thank you.